Chapter 26. Everyone discovers that Tang San and Zhao Wuji look exactly alike as a result. Tang San and Xiao Wu tested out with 29th level spirit power. Ning Rongrong was 26th level, and Zhu Zhuqing tested out with 27th level. Finally, it was Ning Chuan's turn. He took the white crystal ball from Zhu Zhuqing's hand and directly burst it. Spirit Elder. Except for Xiao Wu, Dai Mubai, and Tang San, who already knew Ning Chuan's cultivation, all the applicants who passed the first stage were greatly surprised. This included the cold-faced Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong, who was pretending to be a good girl. At this moment, both of them were looking at Ning Chuan with curiosity and shock. Not to mention them, even Liu Qibin, who was in charge of the second stage, was startled. He was Liu Qibin, a teacher at Shrek Academy. His spirit was Star Luo Chess, and his spirit ring configuration was yellow, yellow, purple, 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 black. He was a level 66 control system spirit emperor. He had been at Shrek Academy for as long as it had been open. In 20 years, he had seen many geniuses, but he had never seen anyone like Ning Chuan. To possess the cultivation of a spirit elder before the age of 13, where did this little freak come from? Liu Qibin's face showed unconcealed shock. He really is a little freak. All right, Mubai, take these 5 to the 4th stage. Yes, Dai Mubai respectfully replied and led the group towards the interior of the academy. Just then, a soft voice sounded, "Sausages for sale, freshly made sausages, don't miss out. Plenty of meat, delicious flavor, only 5 bronze coins apiece." Accompanied by wafts of meaty aroma, not far away, a scruffy uncle was pushing a small cart and hawking. Some of the queuing students had already gone to buy them. Dai Mubai glanced at the man and reminded them with a chuckle. "That's Oscar, whom I mentioned to you earlier. Don't let his beard fool you. He's not much older than you in actual age. However, I advise you not to buy his sausages." This made Tang San, who had originally intended to go and buy, stop in his tracks. Why is that? Based on the fact that the other party would be a classmate in the future and had spirit resonance with him, Dai Mubai did not continue to judge by appearance. "You'll know later. In short, listen to me, absolutely do not eat his sausages, or you will definitely regret it." At this moment, Ning Chuan spoke. It should be because of the spirit incantation. He knew Oscar's vulgar spirit incantation. Don't assume that most spirit masters on Douluo Continent like to shout the spirit ability name when activating a spirit ability. There was a certain reason for this. Because in the early stages, they couldn't skillfully use spirit abilities, so they needed to combine them with spirit incantations to activate them. Over time, even if the spirit ability was fully mastered, this habit was retained. So you know, Dai Mubai was a little surprised. The spirits on Douluo Continent are bizarre and diverse. It's not surprising that some special spirits have certain disgusting spirit incantations. Ning Chuan was non-committal, but he had no intention of correcting them. Since everyone had to go for the 4th stage assessment, no one thought too much about this. A moment later, they arrived at another relatively smaller open space, less than 200 square meters. A middle-aged man, somewhat similar in build to Tang San, was dozing on a chair. The slight difference was that the other party's skin was bronze, not as dark as Tang San's, and his muscles were more robust and powerful, not appearing as abrupt or uncoordinated. Everyone looked at the middle-aged man, then at Tang San. Including Xiao Wu, everyone stifled their laughter in unison. Even the cold-faced Zhu Zhuqing's lips curved into a subtle arc. Xiao Wu even directly patted Tang San's shoulder and laughed loudly. Little black, look. That uncle looks so much like you." "Xiao Wu, you're overthinking it." Tang San's mouth twitched fiercely. How was he like him? He clearly didn't look like him at all. The middle-aged man was awakened by their laughter and opened his blurry, sleepy eyes. What's all the noise? Can't a person get some sleep? Who knew that, at the first sight of Tang San, Zhao Wuji was startled. Good heavens, who let out the black bear? It was his first time seeing someone who looked even more shabby than him and Flender. Dai Mubai's face darkened. Teacher Zhao, his name is Tang San, not some black bear, and he dislikes being called a black bear. They are all here to participate in the 4th stage assessment, and they were also exempted from the 2nd and 3rd stage tests. Unconsciously, Dai Mubai had already begun to instinctively protect Tang San. Zhao Wuji's eyes lit up. He stood up from the chair. His appearance was very ordinary, and his build was only slightly taller than Tang San's, but he was extremely sturdy, giving a majestic feeling. But it was fine when he didn't stand up. Once he stood up, everyone immediately felt that he looked even more like Tang San. The usually mischievous Ning Rongrong couldn't help but ask, "Tang San, are you sure there's no blood relation between you two?" "I've said it. There's no relation between us." Towards others besides Xiao Wu, Tang San wouldn't have such a good temper, and his words were a bit blunt. "HMPH, you clearly look alike." Ning Rongrong was very unconvinced, almost exposing her spoiled young lady's temper. "All right, don't just stand there. Let's start the assessment quickly. There are 5 people this year. Not bad, not bad. This final stage is to pass my test. My name is Zhao Wuji, and I am the Vice Dean of Shrek. Now I'll give you an incense stick's time to discuss tactics. The test will begin after an incense stick. The test content is for you to team up against me. As long as one person lasts for a full incense stick, you pass," Zhao Wuji said. After saying this, he took out an incense stick from his portable spirit tool, lit it with spirit power, and casually stuck it into the ground. Seeing that Zhao Wuji was determined to personally conduct the test, Dai Mubai knew that persuasion was useless. He immediately introduced Zhao Wuji and his spirit to Ning Chuan and the other 4 with a serious expression. "He's that immovable king who escaped the pursuit of 16 spirit emperor bishops from Spirit Hall and disappeared for 10 years. Ning Rongrong had heard of Zhao Wuji, and learning that the other party was actually the immovable king was somewhat surprising. Dai Mubai nodded. "Now you should be able to imagine how terrifying he is. All right, there's not much time left for you to discuss tactics. Quickly get to know each other first." Ning Chuan had anticipated this and didn't show too much surprise, as he had even fought a spirit Douluo before. So he was the first to speak. Ning Chuan, Spirit Azure Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword, 33rd level attack system Soul Grandmaster. Following him, Xiao Wu, Tang San, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing also gave simple self-introductions. At this time, everyone also learned Ning Rongrong's identity. However, she still maintained that good girl facade. After the self-introductions, Tang San made arrangements similar to the original work. Ning Rongrong will be responsible for assisting the 4 of us. Xiao Wu and Ning Chuan will be the main attackers. I will be responsible for control, trying my best to restrict Teacher Zhao. As for Zhu Zhuqing, please use your agility attack system Spirit Master's speed to create diversions from the flank. Chapter 27, Tang San is persecuted every day, Ning Chuan said in a deep voice. This way we will only be defeated one by one. Then what good ideas do you have? Tang San asked, unconvinced. Our goal is to last for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, not to defeat him. That would just be asking for trouble, Ning Chuan stated his strategy. We need to adjust. Ning Rongrong will be responsible for support. I will handle the frontal assault. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing will be responsible for containment and mutual support. And Tang San will continue to restrict and protect the safety of the support system's Spirit Master. At the same time, I hope you remember this point. Our main goal is not to defeat Teacher Zhao, but to stall for time, especially Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing. Do not be greedy for achievement. As long as you hit him once, regardless of the effect, you must immediately retreat from the target. Additionally, Xiao Wu's second spirit ability should not be used. The mental force of a spirit saint is not something you can imagine. Once you suffer a backlash, you will immediately faint. After hearing Ning Chuan's words, everyone was stunned, and even Tang San couldn't find a reason to refute him. Next, Ning Chuan made some simple arrangements. In a short while, the incense burned out. Zhao Wuji took out another stick and said, "All right, you can start." Before Zhao Wuji could light it, Ning Rongrong had already taken action. 7 treasures glazed tile pagoda, her body spun around once, and dazzling 7-colored light instantly radiated from her. A 7-colored pagoda about a foot tall appeared in Ning Rongrong's right palm. First, strength. Second, speed. She lightly tapped with her left hand, and 3 rays of colorful light shot out from the first and second levels of the pagoda, respectively. They entered the bodies of Ning Chuan, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing. Tang San was mainly responsible for restricting Zhao Wuji's movements, and Ning Rongrong could currently only support 3 people at most simultaneously. So she could only give it to Ning Chuan and the 2 girls first, and then add it to him later. The moment the colorful light entered their bodies, Ning Chuan and the 2 girls immediately felt a warm energy filling their limbs and bones. At the same time, they felt their whole bodies filled with power, feeling light, and their speed increased significantly. Seeing Ning Rongrong's spirit, Zhao Wuji was a little surprised. He no longer hesitated, lit the incense, and casually threw it, sticking it into the ground. Then, without summoning his spirit, he half-squatted and simultaneously slammed both fists into the ground. With Ning Chuan's arrangements, the 5 were well prepared and jumped up simultaneously. While dodging the shockwave, Ning Chuan took the lead, summoning his azure bamboo bee cloud sword spirit, but still not revealing his spirit ring. He swept up from the front, charging towards Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji saw that his ground smash had been anticipated, and a slight smile appeared on his face. Seeing Ning Chuan pounce, he didn't dodge, but simply slowly raised his right hand, intending to catch the blade with his bare hands. Unexpectedly, when he was 5 meters away, Ning Chuan leaped high into the air. 3 spirit rings, yellow, purple, purple, suddenly appeared. The first spirit ring lit up, and the azure bamboo bee cloud sword, originally only 3 feet long, instantly transformed into a 7 to 8 meter long green sword manifestation. Ning Chuan gripped the sword with both hands and swung it down with the force of splitting a mountain. Holy crap. 2,000-year spirit rings. Zhao Wuji was so taken aback by this sudden scene that he couldn't help but curse. Let alone him, even Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, Tang San, Ning Rongrong, and Dai Mubai were all utterly shocked. Especially Tang San, whose heart was now in self-doubt. If not for the need for the entrance exam, he might have already become reclusive. In a hurry, Zhao Wuji only had time to raise his hands to block, but he was still sent flying by the huge green sword manifestation. Before he could land, Tang San summoned his blue-silver grass spirit. 2 yellow spirit rings lit up simultaneously, and thorny, dark blue vines suddenly lashed out, binding Zhao Wuji's left leg and pulling him over. Xiao Wu, Zhuqing? At Ning Chuan's command, the 2 moved simultaneously. Xiao Wu's speed was not as fast as Zhu Zhuqing's, so she was pulled and thrown by Zhu Zhuqing's hand. Immediately after, Zhu Zhuqing also used the agility of her Hell Sivet spirit to catch up with Xiao Wu. Both of them simultaneously kicked Zhao Wuji in the waist. Zhao Wuji was kicked flying again. The 2 did not press their advantage. Instead, they used Zhao Wuji's body to gain leverage and retreat. Damn it! Zhao Wuji's cursing voice echoed in the air. He let out a low roar, and his body suddenly swelled, his height and build nearly doubling. He instantly transformed into a human-shaped grizzly bear. 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 black, 7 dazzling spirit rings rose simultaneously. The blue-silver grass that Tang San had used to bind Zhao Wuji's legs directly shattered. I'll start with you. With his blue-silver grass broken, Tang San's face instantly turned pale. Zhao Wuji had set his attack target on him. But just then, Ning Chuan charged over with an arrow-like step. From 5 meters away, he once again unleashed his first spirit ability, sword manifestation. Kid, do you really think you can still succeed? First spirit ability, immovable king body, Zhao Wuji sneered. His first spirit ring suddenly burst forth with intense golden light, directly reflecting the 7 to 8 meter long sword manifestation that had transformed into a light sword. Ning Chuan dispersed the sword manifestation, but he himself advanced instead of retreating. A 10-foot-long green sword manifestation extended from his left hand, directly striking Zhao Wuji, who had just finished releasing his immovable king body. Sparks flew. Although this time it didn't send Zhao Wuji flying like before, it did leave a bloody red mark on his face, which had already completed spirit possession. Clang, 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 clang. Just then, Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu, seizing the opportunity, attacked. Unlike Dai Mubai's tiger claws, which were like sharp blades after spirit possession, Zhu Zhuqing's cat claws were pointed after spirit possession. They scraped against Zhao Wuji's back, emitting a series of friction sounds like metal colliding. Xiao Wu took this opportunity, extending her scorpion braid downwards like a whip, wrapping around Zhao Wuji's right ankle. She exerted force with her entire body. Although she didn't throw Zhao Wuji flying, she made him stumble. Zhao Wuji felt a burning sensation on his face. He touched it and found that he was bleeding. Fury immediately welled up in his heart. His second spirit ring lit up, and his 2 fan-sized hands instantly transformed into 2 bare paws, swatting at the 2 who had ambushed him. But they were swept away by another of Ning Chuan's sword manifestations. Bang, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, following Ning Chuan's earlier instructions, promptly pulled back. At this moment, Tang San's blue-silver grass's second spirit ability, Parasite, finally took effect. Clusters of thorny, dark blue vines extended from Zhao Wuji's body, binding him into a zongzi in the blink of an eye. Ning Chuan's third spirit ring lit up, and his entire body turned transparent green. At this time, Zhao Wuji had just broken free from Tang San's spirit ability. Seeing Ning Chuan strike towards him with a sword, he activated his third spirit ability, Gravity Press, without thinking. Suddenly, except for Dai Mubai in the distance, the bodies of Ning Chuan and the 4 others became heavy. Their speed drastically decreased, as if their feet were stuck in a quagmire. But Ning Chuan only paused for a moment before acting as if nothing had happened. He transferred the side effect to Tang San. Chapter 28. A hero saves a beauty. Tang San, who was simultaneously enduring the double layer of gravity, and even more so because Ning Chuan was closer to Zhao Wuji and enduring immense gravity, let out a miserable cry of ah. With a crisp crack of bones, he slumped to the ground like a pile of mud, falling unconscious. Zhao Wuji looked at Tang San with disappointment. How could he be so weak and fragile? He's completely wasted all that muscle. He's actually unaffected by teacher Zhao's gravity compression. Dai Mubai was full of shock, as if he had seen a ghost. Tusk, to beat Tang Buddha like this, Zhao Wuji, I hope you can be safe tonight. Ning Chuan clicked his tongue in his heart, his body spun in the air above the ground, splitting into 3 figures, and he fiercely attacked Zhao Wuji. For a time, Sword Kai crisscrossed the open space, and sand and stones flew. And although the scattered Sword Kai did not cause much damage to Zhao Wuji, it left shocking sword marks on his body. At the same time, the gravity on Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong was also lifted. Xiao Wu, take Ning Rongrong away. Zhu Zhuqing, you provide support from the side. Do not attack rashly. Dai Mubai, please help take care of Tang San first. At Ning Chuan's command, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing took the opportunity to retreat. Xiao Wu knew that her attacks would not be effective against Zhao Wuji and would easily be targeted, so she took Ning Rongrong away from the area. Zhu Zhuqing lingered nearby, waiting for an opportunity to strike. As for Dai Mubai, he glanced at Tang San, seemingly not expecting this guy to be even weaker than he imagined. Even Ning Rongrong, a support system spirit master, hadn't fainted, but he had, which greatly surprised him. However, surprise aside, the resonance that the opponent's blue-silver grass spirit brought him was extremely strong. It made him involuntarily feel an impulse to merge with Tang San. Zhao Wuji, who was entangled by Ning Chuan, was losing face a bit. His first spirit ring lit up again, but Ning Chuan already knew Zhao Wuji's information and knew that the immovable king body could only reflect attacks within 3 meters of his body. He retreated early, moving to 3 meters away from Zhao Wuji. The immovable king body only managed to disperse one of Ning Chuan's sword shadow clones, but his main body was not affected in any way. He actually saw through my spirit ability. Zhao Wuji was very shocked, and even more so angry. To think that he, a 76th level battle spirit saint, had even activated his spirit and used his first 3 spirit abilities, yet still couldn't do anything to these 5 little freaks whose spirit power was only 20 or 30 levels. Seeing that the incense was about to burn out, he decided to no longer hold back. I'll deal with you first. His 4th spirit ring lit up, shining with purple light, and Zhao Wuji's 4th spirit ring flew out. Like it had eyes, it chased after the 2 cyan transparent figures that Ning Chuan had transformed into. One of the transparent figures moved, actually actively meeting Zhao Wuji's spirit ring the moment it flew out. Haha, trying to use clones to dodge my guided tracking, good kid, but it's all in vain. Zhao Wuji said, controlling the flying spirit ring to ensnare the other figure. Immediately after, his thick legs suddenly exerted force, and his entire body leaped up from the ground. The ensnared figure quickly shifted its position, but no matter where the figure swept, Zhao Wuji, who had leaped into the air, would turn with his movement. Finally, he was still caught by Zhao Wuji and slammed to the ground with a palm strike. He used full force in this palm. Though it wasn't fatal or crippling, it was enough to knock him unconscious. Ding, ding, ding. Just then, Zhu Zhuking's sneak attack arrived again. However, hitting Zhao Wuji's back was still useless. Then, without even looking at Ning Chuan, whom he had pinned to the ground, he raised his hand and swung it towards Zhu Zhuking, who was trying to retreat after ambushing him. Dai Mubai, seeing this scene from a distance, quickly pleaded, "Teacher Zhao, please show mercy." At this moment, through the name and spirit, he already knew that Zhu Zhuking was his fiancée. Zhu Zhuking's pupils suddenly contracted, knowing that she couldn't dodge, and subconsciously closed her eyes. Just as Zhu Zhuking thought she was about to be severely injured and knocked unconscious, Zhu Zhuking only felt a strong masculine aura rush towards her. When she opened her eyes, she saw a cyan transparent figure holding her by the waist, narrowly dodging Zhao Wuji's bare paw strike. With a few back jumps, he carried Zhu Zhuking in a princess carry, creating dozens of meters of distance from Zhao Wuji. The cyan transparent figure's cyan light receded, revealing Ning Chuan's familiar figure. Seeing this scene, Dai Mubai breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time, an unknown surge of anger rose within him because Ning Chuan was currently holding his fiancée, and the unconscious Tang Sen had been completely ignored by him, left lying on the ground. Ning Chuan, just now you. Looking at Ning Chuan, who had just protected her, Zhu Zhuking's originally cold eyes were momentarily dazed. Let's first endure this stick of incense before talking. Ning Chuan smiled. At this moment, his face was a little pale, because he had just suffered some backlash from Zhao Wuji successively destroying 2 clones, but he was not in a hurry to transfer the side effects away. Saving the beauty, one always has to pay some price, and it's not too late to transfer it afterward anyway. It's a clone, haha, good kid. First a top-tier tool spirit, then 2,000-year spirit rings. Now I want to see how many surprises you can give me. Zhao Wuji, knowing he had been tricked, didn't get angry but laughed instead. He laughed heartily, and his 5th spirit ring lit up. Zhao Wuji's vigorous Vajra bear spirit's 5th spirit ability, gravity compression, was activated. Ning Chuan only felt a huge pressure suddenly attack, and his body, along with Zhu Zhuking's, uncontrollably rushed towards Zhao Wuji. At the critical moment, he threw Zhu Zhuking away, tossing her towards Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu, and at the same time, his 2nd spirit ring lit up. Haha, little freak, accept your fate. As Zhao Wuji struck him with a palm, a layer of verdant green light shield appeared close to Ning Chuan's body, and within the cyan thorny light, there was even a faint golden color mixed in. Zhao Wuji's palm struck it, and it didn't shatter directly. Instead, a large amount of sword manifestation, whose power was no less than Ning Chuan's first spirit ability, burst forth from it, giving Zhao Wuji a close-range, full-power attack right to the face. Bang, bang, bang. For a moment, Zhao Wuji's body seemed to be covered in firecrackers. Exploding with a roar in contrast, Ning Chuan flew backward, and the sword shield transformed by his second spirit ability shattered in the air, then dissipated into threads of light. To carry out the hero saving the beauty to the end, and also to make it more realistic, he didn't rush to transfer the side effects, so he suffered a not light internal injury with traces of blood oozing from the corners of his mouth. Pa. Zhao Wuji spat out a mouthful of saliva mixed with blood, and opening his mouth, which was missing a front tooth, he spoke with a slight lisp. Kid, it's all over. Chapter 29. The world where only Tang San is injured is completed. Starting tomorrow, the update time will be changed to 8 p.m. Since he started wandering the spirit world, apart from being besieged by Spirit Hall 10 years ago, Zhao Wuji had never suffered such a great loss. And it was at the hands of a spirit elder. In an instant, his eyes gleamed with ferocity, about to erupt. Don't even think about hurting him. Zhu Zhuqing, the fastest, immediately helped the tottering Ning Chuan, followed by Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong. They also stood beside Ning Chuan. However, a smile appeared on Ning Chuan's face. He wiped the blood overflowing from the corner of his mouth, deliberately feigning extreme weakness, and stood up with the help of Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu, pointing to the second stick of incense. It's truly over. Teacher Zhao, haven't you noticed? The incense has already burned out. If you still want to continue fighting, then we can only give up on enrolling. Zhao Wuji looked, and indeed it was. While angry in his heart, he couldn't erupt, as it was his rule. If he violated it, what prestige would he have left? Moreover, a genius like Ning Chuan absolutely couldn't be let go. Otherwise, Flender would surely kill him. All right, consider yourselves past. Zhao Wuji said unwillingly, thinking to himself that a jade unpolished is not a gem. It seemed he would have to train them more in the future. Dai Mubai looked at Zhu Zhuqing, who was supporting Ning Chuan, wanting to get angry, but it was not good to directly offend Ning Chuan. Perhaps the other party didn't have that kind of thought towards Zhu Zhuqing. He then quickly called out to Oscar loudly, and then walked over solicitously, showing concern. Ning Chuan and Zhuqing, are you two all right? Zhu Zhuqing glanced at Dai Mubai, her expression immediately becoming colder. However, when she turned to look at Ning Chuan, her expression softened considerably. She hesitated for a moment and asked with concern, Are you all right? After all, Ning Chuan had just been injured trying to save her. Xiao Wu also cast a concerned gaze, asking with red eyes. Little Six, you're injured. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. Ning Chuan did not linger on Zhu Zhuqing's support and even withdrew his hand from Xiao Wu's embrace, standing upright. While transferring his injuries to Tang San in his heart, he feigned ignorance and asked, Where's Tang San? How is he now? Seeing that Ning Chuan didn't take advantage of Zhu Zhuqing, Dai Mubai's expression immediately improved. He answered without hesitation. He's fine, he just had a few ribs broken by Teacher Zhao's gravity enhancement. I've already set them for him. Once he wakes up and takes Oscar's sausage, he should be fine after a night's rest. As his words fell, Tang San, whose injuries were exacerbated by Ning Chuan's side effect transfer, coughed up a large mouthful of fresh blood with a poof. Black bro, what's wrong with you? Xiao Wu only then remembered Tang San. But she only called out a few words of concern and didn't take any action, because Ning Chuan was still injured at the moment. Zhu Zhuqing saw how Dai Mubai cared for his future companion, and recalling what happened 2 days ago, her expression immediately grew colder. No one knew that when Ning Chuan defeated Dai Mubai at the Rose Hotel, it attracted many onlookers, and Zhu Zhuqing was also there. Now, recalling Dai Mubai taking those twins to open a room, she felt a wave of nausea. Zhao Wuji quickly stepped forward to examine him and immediately said angrily, "Mubai, is this how you set his bones? You directly gave him internal injuries." "Ah, this. I." Dai Mubai looked at the bruised and battered Zhao Wuji, who was speaking with a lisp due to his injuries. While amused, he didn't know how to explain, so he quickly shouted, "Oscar, come here quickly. Where did you go? Someone's injured here." Coming, why are you rushing?" "Are you calling a ghost? Holy crap, Teacher Zhao. Why do you look like this?" Oscar's characteristic soft voice approached from a distance, and soon he appeared before everyone. Perhaps due to Dai Mubai's urging, he didn't even bring his cart, just ran over like that. Only when he saw Zhao Wuji's battered appearance did he exclaim in surprise. "Less nonsense. Quickly make a few more sausages. Someone here has serious internal injuries," Zhao Wuji grumbled. Oscar dared not delay and quickly activated his spirit ability. "I have a big sausage." "I have a small sausage." Under that disgusting spirit incantation, a flash of light appeared in Oscar's hand, and immediately a fragrant sausage and a small sausage, only as thick as a thumb, appeared audiobooks. Douluo fanfic at this moment. Xiao Wu finally understood why Dai Mubai had previously warned everyone not to eat Oscar's sausage. However, what surprised them even more was Ning Chuan's erudition. He could even deduce the reason why they couldn't eat the sausage. Coupled with his previous tactics against Zhao Wuji and his strength, which was far superior to spirit masters of the same level, they truly wondered how he cultivated. "Ning Chuan, I see you're also quite injured. Have a couple too." Don't mind Oscar's disgusting spirit incantation, the effect is really good. Dai Mubai looked at Ning Chuan. "I don't need it, I'll be fine after a rest." Ning Chuan's injuries had all been transferred to Tang San, so naturally, he didn't need to eat. Immediately after, Dai Mubai looked at Zhu Zhuking, Xiao Wu, and Ning Rongrong, but they all refused one by one. Oscar's big sausage provides comprehensive recovery. It can promote wound healing, restore physical strength and spirit power, relieve fatigue and pain, and increase satiety. The small sausage, on the other hand, removes abnormal statuses and detoxifies. The effects of these two foods were extremely practical. Ning Chuan and the others didn't eat, but they did provide a lot of help to Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji's own strength was sufficient, so these injuries were not a big deal for him. Under the effect of Oscar's sausage and small sausage, he recovered almost completely in a short while. Looking at Tang San lying on the ground, Zhao Wuji frowned and said, "Mubai, little Ao, you two are responsible for getting these 5 new students settled. Classes officially start tomorrow." After speaking, Zhao Wuji gave Ning Chuan a deep look, then departed. Watching Zhao Wuji leave, Oscar went to Dai Mubai's side and asked what had happened. Learning that Zhao Wuji's injuries were caused by Ning Chuan, he also felt lingering fear. A moment later, just like in the original work, the two sent Tang San to Oscar's dormitory. Originally, Oscar found Tang San too shabby, even uglier than Ma Hongjun, so he shamelessly requested to share a room with Ning Chuan. However, he was rejected, and Ning Chuan got a room to himself. As for Zhu Zhuking, since she wasn't particularly injured, Dai Mubai didn't even dare to touch her, let alone forcibly carry her like in the original work. She looked as if she would fight him to the death if he dared to touch her. Instead, she was exceptionally concerned about Ning Chuan, who had just saved her not long ago, occasionally casting concerned glances. Xiao Wu also cast concerned glances. This made Oscar envious, Dai Mubai a bit gnashing his teeth, and as for Ning Rongrong, she showed a gossipy expression. Only Tang San, in his unconscious state, was ignored by everyone from beginning to end. The world where only Tang San was injured was completed. Chapter 30. Tang Rishan. The dormitory at Shrek Academy wasn't large, only about a dozen square meters. It would be more accurate to describe it as a civilian house rather than a dormitory. There were only 2 beds. After Ning Chuan entered the dormitory, he laid out his bedding, sat cross-legged on the bed, and began to cultivate. Deep into the night, the entire Shrek Academy fell into silence. At this moment, in the Vice Dean's office, Zhao Wuji had changed into clean clothes, and he was listlessly slumped over his desk, still feeling gloomy about the great loss of face he suffered from Ning Chuan earlier in the day. At the same time, he greatly admired Ning Chuan. In terms of talent, this Ning Chuan was much stronger than Dai Mubai. His spirit was also extremely powerful. He was actually able to send him, a spirit saint, flying with a single sword strike, despite being only a spirit elder, and he also possessed 2,000-year spirit rings, with his swordsmanship being terrifyingly skilled. He would most likely become a peerless expert in the future, just as he was thinking about how to train the 5 newly admitted students, including Ning Chuan. A sudden voice reached his ears. "Zhao Wuji, get out here." Who's calling this old man? Zhao Wuji was not a benevolent person. If he weren't the vice dean of Shrek Academy, Ning Chuan would have been dead by now for daring to treat him that way during the day. Hearing someone call him, a cold light flashed in Zhao Wuji's eyes, and he burst out of the window without hesitation, coming outside, his spirit power instantly rising to its peak. 7 spirit rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 black, flashed out, and he instantly completed his spirit possession, transforming into a humanoid brown bear about 2.5 meters tall. However, upon seeing the person who arrived, he instantly deflated. A skinny black figure emerged from behind a large tree. From his appearance, one could only tell that he was a gaunt old man in his twilight years. But the spirit rings on the other person's body instantly made Zhao Wuji's heart leap into his throat. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black, and 1 red. The other person was actually a titled Douluo, and even a titled Douluo with a 100,000-year spirit ring. How could this be? When did such a powerful expert arrive in this small Balak kingdom? He quickly bowed and saluted. "May I ask which senior has graced us with your presence?" "I apologize if I have offended you in any way. Please be lenient." The man in black said faintly, "What's there to be lenient about? If you hit the young one, the old one naturally comes." With that, he stepped forward and gave Zhao Wuji a good beating. The man in black was naturally Tang Hao, and just like in the original work, he still came to teach Zhao Wuji a lesson after Tang San completed his Shrek Academy assessment. It was just that, because Tang San was much more severely injured this time than in the original work, he was beaten almost to death. And he himself, due to Ning Chuan's desperate actions over the past 6 years, was no longer the robust and imposing figure he once was. He looked as if he had shrunk, becoming a gaunt old man, his skin like withered tree bark and his muscles seemingly atrophied, no longer bearing any resemblance to the clear sky Douluo of the past. Just as Zhao Wuji was about to be beaten to death, a figure swept over from the direction of Shrek Academy and appeared not far away. He quickly bowed and saluted. "Please, clear sky Douluo, show mercy." The newcomer was a middle-aged man with a hooked nose and square-rimmed glasses, covered in feathers with orange-yellow vertical eyes and a pair of huge wings spread out behind him. His spirit ring configuration was the same as Zhao Wuji's, both being 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 3 black. Seeing the other party, Tang Hao finally stopped, casually grabbing the collar of the barely conscious Zhao Wuji and throwing him in front of the man. "Flender, Spirit. Owl, 78th level Agility Attack System Spirit Saint, once part of the Golden Triangle. What, are you going to avenge him?" How dare I, Flender quickly said with a compensatory smile. After some questioning, he learned that one of the students who passed the assessment today was Tang Hao's son, and Zhao Wuji had severely injured his son, so he had specially come to get even. Next, Tang Hao gave Flender some more instructions, finally saying, "Also, pay attention to this person, Ning Chuan. Could it be that he also has some connection with your excellency?" Flender showed a puzzled expression. "You just need to pay attention to whether he has any inclination to join Spirit Hall. If he does, you must notify me immediately." Tang Hao answered evasively, his tone brooking no argument. The reason he paid attention to Ning Chuan today was because he saw his second 1,000-year spirit ring and his 33rd level spirit elder cultivation. Such potential and talent, if he didn't join Spirit Hall, it would be fine. But once he joined Spirit Hall, he would definitely become a major rival for his son, Tang San. Flender had seen Ning Chuan's information and knew that he was the most talented and promising student among this batch of new students, even since the establishment of Shrek Academy. He also had some understanding of the grievances between Tang Hao and Spirit Hall. Upon hearing that the other party had actually been targeted by Tang Hao, he quickly said, "Clear Sky Douluo, that child has no connection with Spirit Hall." Tang Hao snorted coldly and said, "It's best if he doesn't, and you'd best not let him have any dealings with people from Spirit Hall. Otherwise, you know my methods." After saying this last sentence, he flickered and disappeared. "Flender, you're so disloyal. You only showed up when you saw I was about to be beaten to death," Zhao Wuji said, panting. Flender carefully helped him up and said irritably, "You beat his son like that during the day. What difference would it make if I joined in?" Zhao Wuji complained. "I didn't know that was his son. Besides, who knew his son was so fragile back then? I just used a gravity enhance and he collapsed. He's not even as good as that little girl who's a support system spirit master." "Don't speak carelessly." Flender quickly covered his mouth, worried that Tang Hao might return. "All right, I won't say anything more. But what do you plan to do about that little freak, Ning Chuan?" Zhao Wuji was silent for a moment, then asked after Flender released him. Flender did not answer directly, but asked in return, "What do you think of him?" Zhao Wuji thought for a while and gave his opinion. At only 12 years old, he already possesses 33 levels of spirit power and also has 2,000-year spirit rings. His talent is undeniable. Furthermore, his combat talent is incredibly strong. I'm afraid few below Spirit Ancestor, or even Spirit King, are his opponents. Flender nodded. "Then we'll follow Clear Sky Douluo's instructions and guide him away from Spirit Hall." "What if he insists on joining Spirit Hall? Are you really planning to hand him over to Clear Sky Douluo?" Zhao Wuji's expression became serious. "If that happens, we can only let him graduate early," Flender said. Perhaps he was a cunning businessman and not necessarily a good dean, but he always valued and protected talented students, as his lifelong dream was to make Shrek Academy flourish. Chapter 31 encounter the prerequisite for carrying it forward is that the students who emerge from Shrek Academy must achieve prominence. It can be said that Ning Chuan is the most likely among all the students Shrek has ever taken to break through to titled Douluo. As the dean of Shrek Academy, Flender naturally could not betray his students and watch Ning Chuan die in vain. It was already late at night, and besides Ning Chuan, none of the students in Shrek Academy knew that so much had happened that night. As for Ning Chuan, although he knew Tang Hao had come, he did not know that Tang Hao had already set his sights on him. But even if he knew, he wouldn't care. Because, let alone him, if anyone from Shrek joined Spirit Hall, Tang Hao would take action to resolve it. He was such a person. Before that, he just needed to develop cautiously. And by the way, exploit Tang Hao. He believed that in a few years, Tang Hao would be unable to suppress his injuries and be forced to sever an arm and a leg, and by then, the other party would lose his usefulness. Early morning. As soon as dawn broke, Ning Chuan was already up. Practicing swordplay every day was something he had to do. He walked out of his private dormitory and came to the small forest near the academy. He discovered someone was up even earlier than him, Zhu Zhuking. At this moment, she was practicing her spirit ability against a tree. First spirit ability, Hell Rush Stab. Second spirit ability, Netherworld 100 Claws. Relying on the characteristics of an agility attack system spirit master, Zhu Zhuking was like a black shadow, moving rhythmically around a large tree that several people could embrace. In the blink of an eye, the tree was covered with claw marks of varying sizes, the large ones 1/2 meter, the small ones about 1/2 foot. She's really quite diligent. Ning Chuan knew that Zhu Zhuqing had the lowest talent among the Shrek 7 devils, but her spirit power had never fallen behind, which was inseparable from her efforts, several times greater than the average person. "Who is it?" Just then, Zhu Zhuqing also noticed him. "It's me." Ning Chuan walked out from behind a large tree. Seeing it was Ning Chuan, Zhu Zhuqing's originally icy expression softened considerably. "Why are you out so early? Aren't you out early too?" The two smiled at each other, and Zhu Zhuqing said, "Thank you so much for what happened yesterday. If it weren't for you, I would have been severely injured." "No worries, the strategy was proposed by me in the first place. If a problem arose from it, I naturally had to protect you." Ning Chuan was talking nonsense. In reality, if it were Tang San or Dai Mubai, he wouldn't care about their lives. However, his words touched Zhu Zhuqing, who had grown up living amidst assassinations. This was the first time someone had said they would protect her. Ning Chuan didn't wait for her reply, and self-sufficiently took out 5 large, specially made barbell plates from his spirit tool waist belt. Each barbell plate weighed 100 katas, so 5 made 500 katas. They were strung together by Ning Chuan with an iron rod. Then, holding the iron rod handles with both hands, he began practicing his sword-swinging movements. Watching Ning Chuan, whose face wasn't red and who wasn't out of breath, swinging such a heavy object without using an ounce of spirit power, Zhu Zhuqing exclaimed in surprise, "Do you train like this every day?" "Not really. It was only 100 katas at first, then gradually increased as my own strength grew." Ning Chuan answered while swinging. As he spoke, he seemed to feel the barbell was a bit light, so he added another plate to it. Zhu Zhuqing said nothing more, just looked as if she wanted to speak but hesitated. Her gaze towards Ning Chuan held a hint of urgency. Of course, this wasn't love at first sight, but rather, she saw hope for becoming stronger from Ning Chuan. It was just that they had only just met, and he had saved her yesterday, so it wasn't easy to speak up. Ning Chuan suddenly said, "Looking at how you just released your spirit ability, although it's very fast, it seems a bit too formulaic. This makes it easy for others to find a pattern and thus find a flaw." Zhu Zhuqing knew he was giving her pointers, and her eyes immediately lit up. "Then what should I do?" Ning Chuan turned to look at her, a faint smile on his face. "Have you heard this saying? Speed is power." When the sun rose, Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing walked out of the small forest, chatting and laughing. At this time, Zhu Zhuqing felt a bit hungry. Ning Chuan, with Tang Hao, that big, unlucky fellow, around, wasn't afraid of hunger, but he still ate normally every day. However, because they had just arrived at Shrek Academy and didn't know where the cafeteria was, Ning Chuan suggested going to a place with cooking smoke to buy food from a villager's home. Unconsciously, the two walked out of Shrek Academy's boundaries and just happened to see Xiao Wu and Tang Sen confronting a fatty covered in purplish red flames. Oh no, perhaps using jungle fowl to describe him would be more appropriate. He had a mohawk-style haircut, with long feathers extending from his thick, exposed arms. His hands had turned into claws. Honestly, if it weren't for the 2 yellow spirit rings circling around him and the flames covering him, it would be very easy to mistake his spirit for a jungle fowl. "Little Six, where did you run off to this morning? I couldn't find you. Quickly teach him a lesson. This fatty is trying to forcibly abduct a respectable woman." Upon seeing Ning Chuan arrive, Xiao Wu's face lit up with joy, but after seeing Zhu Zhuqing beside Ning Chuan, her little face immediately fell. Tang San, on the other hand, had a hint of joy appear on his originally grim face. Few people knew that yesterday, after Zhao Wuji was beaten by Tang Hao, Flender had gone to find Tang San and personally healed his injuries using his spirit saint-level spirit power. Therefore, Tang San had already woken up from his coma in the middle of the night yesterday. Oscar, due to Flender's instructions, had stayed by his side, fearing something might happen to him. When he woke up, Oscar told him what had happened later yesterday. Tang San didn't suspect Ning Chuan of being behind it. He only thought that Zhao Wuji had intentionally targeted him and applied more gravity to him to get rid of his blue-silver grass. That's why he fainted. But he was still resentful, because from the strength Ning Chuan displayed yesterday, he had clearly far surpassed him. Unless he used hidden weapons, he would have no chance of fighting. And at this moment, the reason he was happy was because he saw Ning Chuan and Zhu juking together. Clearly, he was happy to see it happen, as this way, no one would compete with him for Xiao Wu. Ma Hongjun had not returned home last night and did not know what had happened at the academy. He was looking for his girlfriend, Kuishua, but was stopped by a little girl and a black coal, Tang San. Seeing another pretty boy appear, he immediately got furious. Oh, wow, someone actually dares to block my way, and he even has that bitchy face I hate the most. Don't think I'm afraid of you just because there are many of you. Come on, watch as I, your fatty, beat you all until you're picking up your teeth from the ground today. As he spoke, he raised both hands, his first spirit ring instantly lit up, and he suddenly opened his mouth, about to release his first spirit ability, Phoenix Firewire. Chapter 32, Ma Hongjun, are you a human or a ghost? That evil fire phoenix from the red light district really can't change his ways. Ning Chuan shook his head, without any unnecessary words. His right hand summoned the azure bamboo cloud sword, and before Ma Hongjun could even fully unleash his flames, he unleashed an upward slash. The sword light was dazzling. So fast, Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuking were startled. Although they had witnessed Ning Chuan's sword kai before, seeing it again still left them surprised. Ma Hongjun was not Dai Mubai. He didn't possess the same high level of spirit power, nor did he have defensive spirit abilities like White Tiger Barrier or White Tiger Vajra transformation. Before he even understood what was happening, he felt a sharp pain in his chest. Immediately, he let out a miserable shriek, flying backward and tumbling several times in the air before landing on the ground like a dead dog. Ma Hongjun's girlfriend, Kuishua, seeing him struck down, quickly ran towards him. The flames on Ma Hongjun's body receded. Covering his injured chest, he struggled to get up from the ground with Kuishua's support. Kuishua asked with concern, "Are you all right?" Ma Hongjun didn't answer, only staring at Ning Chuan with a terrified expression. Is he human or ghost? Is he human or ghost? Hongjun, hurry back, don't fight anymore, Kuishua advised. Ma Hongjun felt a burning sensation in his chest, and blood continuously seeped from the wound. No, I'm not going back. If you want to go back, go by yourself. He was unwilling to suffer such a significant loss for nothing. What are you two doing? Xiao Wu looked at them, a little confused. Wasn't it this fatty who was flirting with her earlier? Why was Miss Kuishua now acting concerned for him? Clang! Ning Chuan twirled the azure bamboo cloud sword in his hand, then held it reverse grip with the blade resting on his shoulder, answering for Kuishua. What else? They're probably boyfriend and girlfriend who had a fight, and you guys misunderstood. But this little fatty is quite bold. He dared to attack without a second thought. Doesn't he worry about getting beaten to death one day? Kuishua said. This young man is right, but Hongjun is a good person. It's just that we're not suitable and we're planning to break up. So please, don't fight anymore. Ma Hongjun angrily retorted, don't meddle in my business, get out of the way. Although he said this, he no longer had any intention of fighting. He wasn't a fool. He had no advantage in terms of numbers or strength, especially against this guy with a sword spirit. If the other party hadn't held back, he would have been cut in half. Even if he wanted to get even, he would have to call Dai Mubai. Fatty, Ning Chuan, what are you doing? Just then, Dai Mubai, who had been searching for Zhu Zhuking around the academy, walked over. He had changed into a brand new white outfit, and his hair was meticulously combed. Boss Dai, you're finally here. Get away, don't get my new clothes dirty. As soon as Ma Hongjun saw him, he rushed forward as if seeing a family member, but Dai Mubai dodged him. Ma Hongjun shamelessly said, don't say so much, quickly help me teach them a lesson. Look at how they beat me. Dai Mubai glanced at the wound on Ma Hongjun's chest. Good heavens, That was quite a vicious blow. He didn't even need to ask to guess who did it. He then glanced at Zhu Zhuking, who was standing beside Ning Chuan, and said, "There must be some misunderstanding here. They all just enrolled yesterday. They are also students of our Shrek Academy." "You mean they're also students of our Shrek Academy?" Ma Hongjun finally reacted. Dai Mubai nodded. The next moment, the anger on Ma Hongjun's face vanished, replaced by a fawning expression. "I was wondering who was so strong, so it's a fellow member of our Shrek. Nice to meet you, nice to meet you." "You're Ning Chuan, right? I'm Ma Hongjun. My spirit is Evil Fire Phoenix, a 28th level attack system Soul Grandmaster. From now on, we're all good brothers." Hearing this, everyone was speechless. This fatty was truly like a donkey, changing his face in an instant. A moment ago, he looked like he was on the verge of death, and now he was calling them brothers. Next, Dai Mubai further explained. Only then did everyone learn that Ma Hongjun and Qishua were indeed a couple. It was just that Ma Hongjun, affected by his spirit, had an excessive need for that aspect, and Qishua couldn't bear it, so she decided to break up. Ma Hongjun wouldn't allow it. In the end, Qishua still ran off. A moment later, the six of them returned to the Shrek Academy grounds and headed towards the dining hall. However, the atmosphere was a bit strange. Both Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuking revolved around Ning Chuan. Zhu Zhuking was a bit better, but Xiao Wu seemed to be afraid that Ning Chuan would be snatched away, showing him exceptional enthusiasm. In contrast, Dai Mubai, Tang San, and Ma Hongjun seemed out of place. Especially Tang San and Dai Mubai, whose faces were almost scowling. Ma Hongjun followed beside the two. He had already stopped the bleeding, and his wound was simply bandaged. Because Ning Chuan had held back, he would recover in a day after taking the sausage made by Oscar, plus the Spirit Master's inherent recovery ability. Seeing Tang San and Dai Mubai looking at Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuking respectively, he inwardly clicked his tongue. It seemed they all had their targets, but Ning Chuan was a formidable opponent. The so-called dining hall was actually just Shrek hiring a few villagers to prepare meals for everyone in the village. The food was very simple. When the six arrived at the dining hall, Ning Rongrong was already there. She still looked like a well-behaved girl, and a smile appeared on her face when she saw Ning Chuan, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuking. As for Tang San, because his performance was not as good as hers, a support system spirit master, and he was also ugly, she directly ignored him. Only Oscar hadn't arrived yet, but because Ning Chuan and the other four had already met Oscar yesterday, they didn't wait. After getting their food, Dai Mubai directly told Ma Hongjun the names and spirits of the five. After the introductions, Dai Mubai continued. "Counting the five of you, there are a total of 8 people in the academy now. From now on, we are all brothers and sisters. Don't be reserved, just be easygoing. I'm a bit older than all of you. Little Ao and Fatty both call me Boss Dai, but you can just call me Mubai. For Oscar, just call him Little Ao. For Ma Hongjun, you can just call him Fatty. Ning Chuan, Tang San, I heard Xiao Wu call you Little Six and Little Black. How about I call you that from now on? Just call me Ning Chuan." Ning Chuan had no intention of playing companion games with them. Chapter 33 Breakup. Tang San was also unwilling and about to refuse, but Xiao Wu directly agreed for him. "Don't worry, Little Black is a very good person and won't mind, but calling him Little Six is not allowed. In their place, only elders can call him that." "Then why do you call him Little Six?" "Could it be that you, him?" Ning Rongrong showed a half-smile expression. From everyone's reactions just now, it's not hard to see that Tang San likes Xiao Wu, Dai Mubai likes Zhu Zhuking, Xiao Wu likes Ning Chuan, and Zhu Zhuking also seems to have a considerable good impression of Ning Chuan because he saved her yesterday. As for Ma Hongjun, he's purely a fatty dominated by evil fire. As for Ning Chuan, he doesn't seem to care much for Xiao Wu, but instead seems somewhat concerned about Zhu Zhuking. Tusk, it's really lively. At this moment, Ning Rongrong felt that coming to Shrek Academy was not in vain. She could witness so much drama. That's because Xiao Wu's pretty face flushed, and she secretly glanced at Ning Chuan. Seeing that he had no reaction, she quickly changed the subject and said, Little Six and Little Black are both from the same academy as me. We grew up together and are quite familiar with each other. How could she possibly say that she had fallen for Ning Chuan? Tang San breathed a sigh of relief when he heard this. He was really afraid that Xiao Wu had truly fallen for Ning Chuan. But Ning Rongrong wasn't that naive. She saw through Xiao Wu's thoughts at a glance, but didn't expose her. Instead, she continued to play her role as a good girl, smiling. Is that so? Then you can just call me Rongrong from now on. My family and friends all call me that. Xiao Wu's way of addressing him remained unchanged. When Dai Mubai looked at Zhu Zhuking merely greeted Ning Chuan, stood up, and left directly. Ma Hongjun exclaimed, Boss Dai, you're not doing well. The academy finally got a few beautiful girls, but you can't get any of them. They all went to Ning Chuan's side. This really goes against your reputation as a peerless lecher and maiden killer. Dai Mubai glared at him. What do you know? Tang San's voice also turned cold. Xiao Wu and Ning Chuan have no relationship whatsoever. If you continue to spout nonsense, don't blame me for being impolite to you. Ma Hongjun was somewhat annoyed by the retort. Dai Mubai was one thing, but why was this dark-skinned guy also so aggressive? If it weren't for their status as classmates and the fact that he had just been injured, he wouldn't mind teaching him a good lesson. But if he was annoyed, Xiao Wu was even more annoyed. Tang San, what nonsense are you talking about? Hearing this, Xiao Wu became a little angry. She then greeted Ning Chuan and got up to leave without looking back. Audiobooks Douluo Fanfic Tang San, worried that Xiao Wu would never speak to him again, quickly chased after her. Dai Mubai looked at Ning Chuan and said, Brother, can we discuss something? What is it? Ning Chuan asked knowingly. Well, you see, Xiao Wu clearly has feelings for you. Can you let Zhuking be with me? Dai Mubai's tone carried a hint of pleading. Only because Ning Chuan was stronger than him would he speak so nicely. If it were anyone else, he would absolutely not be so polite. Don't you already have those twins? Ning Chuan took a sip of rice porridge. Dai Mubai said somewhat awkwardly, Well, perhaps you don't know, but I was just playing around with them. Fine, if that's the case, then let's compete fairly, Ning Chuan said indifferently. Hearing that Ning Chuan was unwilling to give up, Dai Mubai could no longer hold back, and his tone became much colder. No, you must give up Zhuking. Can I interpret that as you threatening me? You can also think that way, if you still consider me a brother. I'm sorry, I dislike being threatened the most. If you considered me a brother, you wouldn't say that. Of course, you can also choose to fight. If you can defeat me, I'll turn around and leave, Ning Chuan said with a calm expression. You. Dai Mubai's eyes flashed fiercely, and his fists clenched, but in the end, he didn't choose to fight. If that's the case, then we'll see. After saying that, he snorted coldly, stood up, and left. He knew that he couldn't defeat Ning Chuan, and if he were to fight, it would only make him lose face in front of Zhu Zhuking and bring humiliation upon himself. Ma Hongjun saw the two of them getting into such a conflict over a pretty girl and said hesitantly, Ning Chuan, we're all brothers. There's no need for this, is there? There is, Ning Chuan said. I already said fair competition, but he still wants to threaten me. If that's the case, why should I indulge him? Besides, he changes women more frequently than he changes clothes. Even if I withdraw and he succeeds, Zhu Zhuking might end up like those twins someday. On the other side, after Dai Mubai left the dining hall, he grew angrier the more he thought about it. He caught up with Zhu Zhuking and questioned her. Zhu Zhuking, what exactly is your relationship with Ning Chuan? Dai Mubai, what do you mean? Zhu Zhuking and Ning Chuan had nothing going on between them. She was merely grateful that he had saved her yesterday and guided her cultivation in the morning. Hearing this, a layer of frost involuntarily covered her beautiful face, and her eyes turned cold as she looked at Dai Mubai, posing her question. What do I mean? Dai Mubai laughed in extreme anger, his expression sinister. What do you think I mean? Zhu Zhuking, don't forget your identity. Zhu Zhuking glanced at Dai Mubai and said coldly, "My affairs are none of your business." "You!" Dai Mubai was furious. Just as he was about to make a move on Zhu Zhuking, a clang-clang-clang sound came from a distance. Ning Chuan and the other two who were dining in the cafeteria also heard it. Ma Hongjun quickly stood up and said, "This is the dean's bell to summon us. You two hurry to the main training ground at the location of the second assessment. I'll go find Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Boss Dai." With that, he quickly left the dining hall. "So you said that because you don't want Zhuking to be abandoned by Dai Mubai someday?" Ning Rongrong stood up, casting a gossipy gaze. Ning Chuan shook his head. "No, I genuinely like her. Everyone appreciates beauty, and Zhu Zhuking happens to be my type. Naturally, there's no reason for me not to be moved." Hearing this, Ning Rongrong couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. "You're amazing." She hadn't expected Ning Chuan to be so bold in matters of the heart. It was truly exciting. "Let's go, Miss Ning," Ning Chuan said as he stood up. Ning Rongrong chuckled and said, "How can you call someone that? Didn't I say to just call me Rongrong?" Upon hearing this, Ning Chuan didn't explain further and quickly left the dining hall. When the two arrived at the main training ground, Oscar had already arrived, having shaved off his beard. Zhu Zhuking and Dai Mubai had also arrived, but Zhu Zhuking still seemed unwilling to speak to Dai Mubai and stood far away from him. Dai Mubai's expression was very grim. Seeing Ning Chuan arrive, Dai Mubai snorted coldly and turned his head away. Chapter 34, adding more burden to Tang Rishan. Ning Chuan didn't bother to look at him, but he didn't deliberately stand on Zhu Zhuking's side either. He just exchanged glances with Zhu Zhuking. They nodded to each other as a greeting, and then stood aside. Ning Rongrong stood between him and Oscar. Seeing Dai Mubai's exasperated look, she couldn't help but laugh. "This Dai Mubai is probably going to compete with you for Zhuking." "If he has the ability," Ning Chuan said indifferently on the surface, but in his heart, he was already thinking about how to mess with Dai Mubai. While they were talking, Ma Hongjun arrived with Tang San and Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu still seemed angry, with a hint of coldness on her face, while Tang San's face was full of flattery. Seeing Ning Chuan there, Xiao Wu immediately beamed with joy and trotted over to stand beside him. Tang San was smiling apologetically from the side, seemingly having made some kind of compromise. Seeing this scene, even a fool would know something must have happened that morning. Oscar looked at Ma Hongjun, who was walking towards them, and seeing that the other party seemed injured, he quickly handed over 2 sausages while asking, "Fatty, what in the world happened?" Ma Hongjun was worried about causing displeasure to Ning Chuan and Dai Mubai, so he glanced at them, and seeing that they weren't paying attention to him, he whispered a few words into Oscar's ear. Oscar's eyes immediately lit up, and he began to gloat over Dai Mubai. Following that were feelings of annoyance and relief. Annoyance that he woke up too late and missed such a good show. Relief that Ning Chuan was interested in Zhu Zhuking and not Ning Rongrong, otherwise his chances would undoubtedly be very slim. A moment later, Flender arrived. He looked at the 8 people lined up and said, "This year is very good with 5 more little freaks. I am Flender, the Dean of Shrek. Welcome. Later, you will go to teacher Lai Yusong, who is in charge of finance, and each pay 100 gold coins. Little Ao and Rongrong stay. Everyone else go back and rest. Try to restore your condition to the best possible state. Today's first class will be held tonight." Upon hearing this, Oscar, who had been enjoying the gossip, immediately became listless and reluctantly walked in front of Flender. However, after seeing Ning Rongrong was also there, his expression brightened a bit. Ning Chuan knew what kind of class Flender would give them, so he wasn't interested in listening. He directly took out a 1,000 jin barbell plate from his waist spirit tool, put it on his shoulder, and started running around the village. Everyone was surprised by Ning Chuan's actions. Ning Rongrong looked at Xiao Wu and couldn't help but ask, "Xiao Wu, you and Ning Chuan came from the same academy. Is he always like this?" "It's not that he's always like this, but almost every day," Xiao Wu said with some helplessness. It wasn't that she didn't want to cultivate with Ning Chuan, but she couldn't keep up. Ning Chuan's body was like a perpetual motion machine. If she followed him, she would only suffer. She might as well eat, drink, and play in that time. Upon hearing this, everyone seemed thoughtful, and Ma Hongjun said with lingering fear, "No wonder his strength is so abnormal." Tang Sen interjected, "It's better if everyone doesn't follow Ning Chuan's example. My teacher said that such unrestrained exercise can easily cause physical damage, and we are in a period of growth. When it comes to exercise, we must not overdo it, or it will affect our physical development." As soon as these words came out, everyone, including Flender, looked at Tang San. Then, thinking of Ning Chuan's almost perfect physique, they all showed strange expressions. Flender glanced at the 24 moonlit bridges on Tang San's waist, guessing that he was Yu Zaya Agang's disciple. He cleared his throat and said, "All right, Rongrong, little Ow, your class today is to run 20 laps around the village. Everyone else can go rest. Tang San, come with me." Zhu Zhuking walked away without looking back. She returned to the small grove where she had previously met Ning Chuan. She began to cultivate according to the method Ning Chuan had told her. Dai Mubai seemed to be holding back a lot of anger and didn't go after her. Then Ma Hongjun also slipped away. Next were Ning Rongrong and Oscar, who had been assigned the 20-lap task. Finally, Zaya Wu. Tang Sen also left with Flender. Without a playmate, she thought that since Ning Chuan had already broken through to Spirit Elder, she couldn't fall behind either, so she uncharacteristically returned to her dormitory to cultivate, not to mention Zaya Wu. Ning Rongrong planned to give up after running less than 1 lap with Oscar. So she released her 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda to increase her speed, and at the village entrance, she caught up with Ning Chuan, who had just finished 1 lap. "Ning Chuan, aren't you tired?" Looking at Ning Chuan, who had just finished a lap carrying heavy weights without a red face or panting, Ning Rongrong's voice carried fatigue and helplessness. "It's all right, I'm used to it." Ning Chuan was certainly not tired. After all, with Tang Rishan as his power bank, if anyone was tired, it was Tang Rishan. Ning Rongrong's eyes suddenly lit up. "Ning Chuan, why don't you stop running and let's go to Soto City together? I'll treat you to a big meal." "What, you're thinking of not running anymore, and you're worried I'll report you to the dean, so you're trying to shut me up with a big meal?" Ning Chuan looked at this little devil with a half-smile. Ning Rongrong's face showed a cunning smile. "That's right, what do you think? As long as you help me keep it a secret, I'll speak well of you to Zhuking." She felt that her condition was something the other party couldn't refuse. "Then you'd better go by yourself. I haven't finished my training task for today, and besides, I don't have a habit of tattling." Ning Chuan refused without hesitation. At the same time, he knew that Flender was watching in secret, but he had no intention of reminding her. Flender set this task, which was almost impossible for Ning Rongrong's personality to complete, because he had received a letter from Ning Fengzhai. It was to temper Ning Rongrong's character. And indeed, although Shrek was rotten, it was indeed suitable for those arrogant second-generation rich kids to experience life and change their unruly temper. It's just a pity that Ning Fengzhai didn't expect the appearance of Tang San and Yu Xiaogang, this master-disciple pair, which ended up leading Ning Rongrong astray, turning her into an ungrateful wretch. Since Ning Chuan wanted to learn the divided mind control method and have Sword Douluo guide him, he could indeed make use of this point, to make Ning Rongrong into the shape he wanted. After all, an ungrateful wretch is an ungrateful wretch. Being an ungrateful wretch for Tang San is still being an ungrateful wretch, and being one for him, Ning, is also the same. "Then thank you. When I come back, I'll definitely speak well of you to Zhuking." Ning Rongrong stopped, looking at Ning Chuan's back, and said with a smile. Ning Chuan waved his hand, sped up, and ran past the village head at a 100-meter sprint without looking back. He kept running until noon before he stopped. By this time, he had already run 25 laps, more than the task Flender had set for Ning Rongrong and Oscar. At noon, he started doing physical exercises. 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats, and 1,000 left and right horizontal jumps. In the afternoon, he ran to a nearby small grove to practice swordplay. At this moment, in order to train himself even more and also to break down Tang Rishan's body faster, he resumed the training content from the first 3 months after he awakened his spirit, and the intensity was increased tenfold. Chapter 35. Enlighten Ning Rongrong Audiobooks. Douluo Fanfic. When night fell, Ning Chuan took a shower in his dorm, changed into clean clothes, and headed to the main training ground for assembly, just in time to see Ning Rongrong, who had been scolded to tears by Flender, run back to her own dorm. "What's wrong?" "Who bullied our Miss Ning? Tell me and I'll get even for you." Ning Chuan stood at the entrance of the girls' dorm, asking knowingly. Hearing Ning Chuan's words, Ning Rongrong finally came out of the dorm, her delicate little face covered in tear stains. It was Flender. "Flender bullied me. I'm going to make Grandpa Sword and Bone Grandfather kill him. By the end, Ning Rongrong was practically roaring. "It seems it's just as I thought." Ning Chuan showed no surprise whatsoever. Ning Rongrong sniffled. "What do you mean?" Ning Chuan smiled mysteriously. "Running 20 laps around the village, not to mention a support system spirit master like you, even an ordinary soul grandmaster couldn't handle it. Why do you think the headmaster would give you a task that's impossible to complete? Are you saying he did it on purpose?" Ning Rongrong understood, wiped her tears, and subconsciously asked, "But why would he do that? How did I offend him?" Ning Chuan shook his head. "It's not that you offended him, but rather that, as the headmaster of an academy, he must assert his authority. You know your own situation. Although you don't have bad intentions, you're a spoiled young lady who's been pampered since childhood. Deep down, you even look down on everyone in Shrek Academy, including the headmaster. If he doesn't discipline you, who will? Otherwise, how can he lead the academy in the future?" Ning Rongrong's thoughts were exposed, and her cheeks flushed slightly. She vehemently denied, "Nonsense, I clearly don't look down on all of you. None of that matters. Also, why do you think the headmaster, who is only a spirit saint, dares to reprimand you, the young lady of the 7-treasure glazed tile school, which has a titled Douluo guarding it?" Ning Chuan said. Hearing this, Ning Rongrong also knew that her father must have spoken to Flender in advance. Otherwise, Flender wouldn't have been so bold. She looked at Ning Chuan's fair, handsome face and softly asked, "Ning Chuan, what do you think I should do?" Ning Chuan said, "Since your father has entrusted you to the headmaster, it means that no one here can help you, nor will anyone pamper you. Everything depends on yourself. If you don't want to be hurt, prove it to them. Let them know that Miss Ning of the 7-treasure glazed tile school is not a vase. As for those who bullied you and abandoned you, you can seek revenge for your grievances and demand an explanation from them later." That last sentence was the key. But at this moment, the simple-minded Ning Rongrong clearly took it to heart. Recalling the indifference of Tang San, Dai Mubai, and others when she was reprimanded by Flender earlier, especially when she cried and ran, that fellow Dai Mubai even wanted to pack her things, eager for her to leave. Ning Rongrong was furious. "HMPH, I'm not a vase." Looking at Ning Chuan, who was close by, Ning Rongrong let out a soft snort, then a sincere smile appeared on her face. "Ning Chuan, thank you." Since childhood, besides Grandpa Sword, Bone Grandfather, and her father, everyone else flattered her because of her identity as the 7-treasure glazed tile school's little princess. Then, Dai Mubai, Tang San, and others, backed by Flender, also bullied and ostracized her. Only Ning Chuan neither flattered her because of her identity nor joined Dai Mubai and the others in kicking her while she was down. Ning Chuan smiled slightly and said, "You're welcome." Just then, a hurried voice approached from afar. "Rongrong, are you okay?" Ning Chuan and Ning Rongrong looked over simultaneously to see Oscar, covered in sweat and panting, running towards them. Seeing Ning Chuan, he said with some surprise, "Oh, Ning Chuan, you're here too. Hurry to the training ground." I'm telling you, the headmaster is in a bad mood today, and you're late again, so you better be careful. No matter. Ning Chuan turned his back to Ning Rongrong and waved. Miss Ning, I'll be going now. As he spoke, he hurried towards the main training ground. Looking at Ning Chuan's gradually receding back, and then at Ning Rongrong, who was no longer sad, Oscar felt as if he had lost something. Let's go. Ning Rongrong tidied herself up and walked towards the village entrance. Go where? Oscar was stunned. He had only come to comfort Ning Rongrong and to find Ning Chuan to inform him to gather at the main training ground. Of course, to complete the lessons I didn't finish today. Ning Rongrong said, with her back to Oscar. Oscar. But the headmaster said you don't need to run anymore. That's for you. I still need to continue. As she spoke, Ning Rongrong ignored Oscar and ran towards the village entrance alone. Oscar, helpless, could only follow, on the other side, Shrek Academy's main training ground. Upon seeing Ning Chuan arrive, Flender did not get angry as Oscar had said. Instead, a smile like a chrysanthemum appeared on his face. Are you okay after such high-intensity training? If you're tired, you can rest first. This lesson can be held tomorrow night. You just need to appropriately reduce your training intensity. As soon as these words came out, Tang San, Dai Mubai, and others, who had been gloating, were all utterly astonished. Was this still the same headmaster who had just reprimanded the 7-treasure glazed tile school's little princess without mercy? What the crowd didn't know was that this day, Flender had been observing Ning Chuan in addition to Ning Rongrong and Oscar. He found that the other party's training intensity was ridiculously high. Not to mention a spirit elder, even he, a spirit saint, would probably not be able to handle it. But Ning Chuan completed it, and he wasn't even red-faced or out of breath, as if nothing had happened. It was clear how strong Ning Chuan's physique was. He felt that Shrek Academy had truly found a treasure. Coupled with Ning Chuan's inherent talent, he naturally showed him some favoritism. No matter, I've already rested. My body feels great now. Ning Chuan shook his head. He could feel that Old Mouse's stamina had basically been drained by him. However, he himself was still in peak condition. It was just a simple Douluo battle. It would only take a few swings of his sword. By the way, he also planned to go to Soto City to purchase some goods, so he could give Dai Mubai a big gift. Although Dai Mubai couldn't defeat Ning Chuan, he didn't want to make it easy for him. Seeing that Ning Chuan hadn't been punished, he couldn't help but say, Headmaster, Ning Chuan was a full quarter of an hour late. This goes against the school rules you set. How can you still? Flender glared at him. If you can also carry 1,000 jin heavy object, run more than 20 laps around the village, and undergo a series of high-intensity training, and cultivate from morning till evening, you can also be late. Oh. Although Dai Mubai was unwilling, he knew he couldn't do what Ning Chuan could. On the contrary, his backstabbing behavior attracted the hostility of Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, especially Zhu Zhuqing. She already strongly disliked Dai Mubai, and without the influence of spirit resonance, she became even more disgusted. The way she looked at Dai Mubai was as if she were looking at trash. Chapter 36, Love Brain, Let's go. Flender waved his hand, his toes touching the ground, and he lightly shot out, heading towards the outside of the academy. Everyone followed closely behind. At the village entrance, they met Ning Rongrong, with Oscar following behind her. Seeing them, Ning Rongrong gave them a challenging glance, then ran off around the village entrance on her own. Oscar, on the other hand, gave them an apologetic look. Flender didn't know it was because of Ning Chuan that Ning Rongrong honestly went to complete her training. He only thought he had tamed Ning Rongrong, and a proud smile couldn't help but appear on his face. He secretly thought, it seems this girl has been tamed by me. Well, she's just a 12 or 13-year-old girl. I, Flender, have lived for so long, how could I not manage her? The destination of this trip was Soto City. Along the way, Flender didn't say a word, and neither did the others ask. Flender always maintained a relatively fast pace, with Ning Chuan walking alongside him. Dai Mubai followed behind Flender, and Zhu Zhuqing, utilizing the speed advantage of an agility attack system Spirit Master, was not far behind Dai Mubai, following behind Ning Chuan. Then came Tang San and Xiao Wu, with Ma Hongjun bringing up the rear. Half an hour later, everyone arrived at Soto City. Flender did not immediately take everyone to the Great Spirit Arena. Instead, he first found a small tea house near the Great Spirit Arena and ordered a pot of the cheapest jasmine tea. From the outside, the Great Spirit Arena was nearly 100 meters tall, incredibly massive. In the night, it appeared extremely profound, and light could vaguely be seen flickering from within the colossal building. Ning Chuan didn't want to listen to Flender talk about irrelevant things here, so he got straight to the point. Is the Dean planning to take us into the Great Spirit Arena for practical combat? What, have you been there? Flender was a little surprised. The others also cast surprised glances. Yes, he had, of course, been to the Great Spirit Arena. There was one in a city on the way to the Dark Fragrance Sword family. As he spoke, Ning Chuan briefly described the rules of the Great Spirit Arena. Simply put, the Great Spirit Arena is divided into two types. One is a death match, and the other is a sparring match. Winning a match earns 1 point. Losing a match deducts 1 point. Accumulating 10 points earns a Bronze Spirit Arena badge. 100 points earns a Silver Spirit Arena badge. 1,000 points earns a Gold Spirit Arena badge, and so on. The matches are further divided into 3 types: 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and 7-person team battles. This made Flender, who had originally wanted to show off, feel a wave of embarrassment. Cough, since everyone already understands the rules, let's go. My requirement for you is to obtain a Silver Spirit Arena badge before graduation. After paying for the tea, the group of 7 walked out of the tea house and entered the Soto City Great Spirit Arena to test their spirit power and complete registration. The Great Spirit Arenas in every place are largely similar. After entering the spectator area, while the audience's attention was focused on the Spirit Arena stage, Ning Chuan, with practiced ease, donned a black robe with a hood and a fox mask, completely concealing himself. Only then did he get up to register. Xiao Wu, walking beside Ning Chuan, whispered, "Little Six, why are you dressed like this?" Zhu Zhuqing also cast a curious gaze. Ning Chuan said, "The Great Spirit Arena is a mixed bag. Being too ostentatious isn't a good thing." Upon hearing this, Xiao Wu immediately became interested. It wasn't about being ostentatious or not, but purely because she found it fun. She immediately asked Ning Chuan for a mask as well. Ning Chuan didn't mind. Anyway, he had changed many masks over the years, and there were still some in his spirit tool storage belt. He immediately gave Xiao Wu a rabbit mask. Xiao Wu instantly treasured it as if it were a priceless gem, because this was the second gift Ning Chuan had given her. However, upon seeing that Ning Chuan also gave Zhu Zhuqing a cat face mask, she instantly seemed to have overturned a vinegar jar. She didn't know who she learned it from, but she actually started playing hard to get with Ning Chuan. She snorted lightly and suggested teaming up with Tang San for a 2-on-2 spirit battle. She wanted to make Ning Chuan jealous. The naive Tang San, thinking Xiao Wu was moved by his sincerity, naturally agreed enthusiastically. Who knew Ning Chuan didn't care at all? Instead, his gaze turned to Zhu Zhuqing. "Zhuqing, how about we team up for a 2-on-2 spirit battle?" "Okay." Ning Chuan could be said to be the only boy Zhu Zhuqing didn't dislike at Shrek so far. She agreed without even thinking, and so Xiao Wu instantly exploded. She was so angry she nearly burst into flames. You two, HMPH." As she spoke, she angrily stomped on Tang San's foot and stormed off in a huff. Although Tang San grimaced in pain, he was secretly very happy, because the more Ning Chuan acted this way, the further Xiao Wu would be from him. It's just a pity that Tang San overlooked the fact that Xiao Wu was a simp, and a love-struck one at that, in Xiao Wu's heart. Ning Chuan was a cold-faced but warm-hearted blockhead who didn't understand emotions. Therefore, no matter how much Ning Chuan ignored her, she could always forgive him. and she believed that one day she would be able to move him. In contrast, Tang San as Xiao Wu's simp. In Xiao Wu's heart, no matter what Tang San did, no matter how much Tang San did for her, it couldn't compare to the quilt Ning Chuan gave her back then, nor could it compare to the mask Ning Chuan just gave her. Tang San was her brother, and everything he did was only natural. In her heart, his status was at most similar to the Titan giant ape and the sky azure bull python, perhaps even inferior to those two simping beasts. This is the power of a love-struck mind. When this love-struck person likes you, she will do anything for you. Conversely, if she likes someone else, she will only blindly accept your kindness without any response. Regarding this, even the love-struck person herself is unaware. When Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing arrived at the 2-on-2 spirit battle registration desk, Xiao Wu and Tang San were already in line. Xiao Wu, still sulking, left immediately after forming the 3-5 combination with Tang San. She didn't even look at Ning Chuan. Soon it was Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing's turn. Seeing that one was a spirit elder and the other a spirit grandmaster, the staff looked at the two in surprise and, in a businesslike manner, reminded them. 2-on-2 spirit battles will be matched according to the highest rank. Are you sure you want to team up? No matter, just register us. Ning Chuan directly took out 10 gold coins for the registration fee. Please give your combination a name. The staff member accepted the gold coins. Ning Chuan thought for a moment and said, "Let's call it the Qingzhu combination. King as in clear, don't get it wrong." He reversed Zhu Zhuqing's name. Anyway, his spirit was the azure bamboo bee-cloud sword, which had Zhu bamboo in it. All right, the Qingzhu combination has been registered. Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing's iron spirit arena badges now had 4 more characters engraved on them, Qingzhu. On a side note, Ning Chuan's own iron spirit arena badge didn't use his real name. It was Han Lai. He had already used aliases like Xiao Yan, Lai Feiyu, Zhuzong, Lan Si, Qin Xuan, and others in other great spirit arenas. Chapter 37. Dai Mubai was so angry that he vomited blood as for his spirit. The registration was the same as the spirit certificate Professor Su had issued earlier. Bamboo sword. Before the 1-on-1 spirit arena battle, they had already registered when they signed up. After completing the 2-on-2 registration, the two walked towards the spectator area they had been in before. Ma Hongjun and Dai Mubai were also there. Previously, Dai Mubai had invited Zhu Zhuqing for a 2-on-2 spirit arena battle, but she had refused. Dai Mubai hadn't thought much of it, as facing 2 spirit elders would undoubtedly put them at a disadvantage. But when he learned that Zhu Zhuqing had refused him and then formed something called the Qingzhu combination with Ning Chuan, Dai Mubai's lungs nearly exploded. It was only because this was the great spirit arena and Ning Chuan was stronger than him that he didn't act on his anger immediately. Ma Hongjun also sensed the tense atmosphere and wisely sat far away, fearing he might get caught in the crossfire. On the spirit arena stage, a female host dressed as a bunny girl stood at the center, holding a cone-shaped megaphone. She spoke in a soft, beautiful voice. Next, we will have the first 1-on-1 spirit arena battle in our number 8 spirit arena. Appearing in this match will be 2 spirit elders. They are Battle Soul Grandmaster Han Lai, who possesses the Tool Spirit Bamboo Sword, against Battle Soul Grandmaster Dai Mubai, who has achieved 27 victories and possesses the Beast Spirit White Tiger. Will Battle Soul Grandmaster Dai Mubai achieve his 28th victory, or will the newcomer Battle Soul Grandmaster Han Lai claim victory? Let us wait and see. Please welcome both Spirit Elders to the stage. Because it was a Spirit Elder battle, there were quite a few spectators in the stands. They were all shouting Dai Mubai's name. It seemed Dai Mubai was quite popular in the Great Spirit Arena. Upon hearing that his opponent was named Han Lai and his spirit was a bamboo sword, Dai Mubai, who was seething with anger, thought of teaching the other party a good lesson to vent his frustration. Ma Hongjun sat beside Tang San and whispered, This guy named Han Lai is in for it. Boss Dai is in a really bad mood right now. Tang San, having just registered the Sanwu combination with Xiao Wu, was in an unusually good mood. He smiled faintly, and before he could say anything, Ning Chuan had already jumped onto the stage. Dressed in a black robe, with a hood and mask covering him completely, he immediately attracted the attention of many spectators. Who is that person, hiding their face? Similar puzzled expressions appeared one after another in the stands. They were all curious about Ning Chuan's behavior. Audiobooks Douluo fanfic, it's him. Tang San and Ma Hongjian's eyes widened, clearly not expecting this Han Lai to be Ning Chuan. Dai Mubai, who had originally intended to vent his anger on his opponent, saw it was Ning Chuan in disguise, and his entire face immediately fell, becoming terrifyingly grim. 2 yellow and 1 purple spirit rings rose, and he didn't hesitate to complete his white tiger Vajra transformation, transforming into an upright tiger about 2 meters tall. Then, all 3 spirit rings lit up simultaneously. First spirit ability, White Tiger Barrier. Third spirit ability, White Tiger Vajra transformation. Second spirit ability, White Tiger Light Wave. Without any hesitation, Dai Mubai directly used all 3 of his spirit abilities. Having completed his second stage transformation, Dai Mubai, enveloped by the light circle formed by the White Tiger Barrier, bent his legs slightly and leaped high into the air. A massive white light instantly condensed, and accompanied by Dai Mubai's tiger roar, a milky white ball of light spewed from his mouth, covering Ning Chuan below. Ning Chuan stood still. Just as the white light was about to fall, 2 yellow and 1 purple spirit rings appeared, and his second spirit ring lit up. Green light and golden arcs simultaneously surged from Ning Chuan, the golden arcs dancing wildly to form a rather magnificent sword shield. Dai Mubai's white tiger light wave struck it. From the outside, Ning Chuan's body appeared to be hit by the white light. Just as Dai Mubai breathed a sigh of relief, suddenly, countless green sword manifestations broke through the white light and shot out abruptly. Immediately after, a dull, booming sound echoed, and Dai Mubai, who was in the air releasing his spirit ability, was struck by the dense sword manifestations, and the white light circle around him shattered. Before he could react, Ning Chuan had already appeared in front of him. His azure bamboo bee cloud sword instantly transformed into a light sword about 7 or 8 meters long, slicing down at Dai Mubai's waist. Oh no. Ah. Dai Mubai only had time to let out a miserable cry before he was directly sent flying by the massive light sword formed by the sword manifestation, falling off the spirit arena stage, crashing heavily into a stone pillar, and then falling to the ground. Silence. The entire area around the number 8 spirit arena's one-on-one battle stage fell into a deathly silence. Not to mention the spectators, even the beautiful female host had her mouth wide open. No one had expected such a spirit arena battle to end so quickly. One must know that Dai Mubai was a frequent visitor to the Soto City Great Spirit Arena, and many people knew him. Initially, when Dai Mubai had just broken through to Spirit Elder, perhaps due to insufficient spirit power, he had wins and losses. But with his continuous improvement in spirit power level over the past 2 years, it was rare for anyone at the Spirit Elder stage to defeat him. Who knew that today, a mysterious Spirit Elder would suddenly appear, not only easily blocking Dai Mubai's full power attack in his strongest state, but also instantly defeating him in return. The entire battle process was exceptionally fast. Dai Mubai didn't even have time to react before the Spirit Arena battle was over. Of course, this was also because Ning Chuan used Dai Mubai's White Tiger Light Wave to conceal his spirit rings. Otherwise, seeing a spirit ring configuration of 2 yellow and 1 purple would have been even more astonishing. Similarly, Ning Chuan showed no mercy in his actions. Dai Mubai lay on the ground like a dead dog, suddenly spitting out a mouthful of old blood. He tried to get up multiple times but couldn't, only staring fixedly at Ning Chuan with his evil eyes, filled with unwillingness and venom. Tang San and Ma Hongjun quickly left the stands and helped him up. Tang San frowned and reprimanded Ning Chuan. "We're all classmates. Even if it's a spirit arena battle, there's no need to be so heavy-handed, right?" As for Ma Hongjun, having been instantly defeated by Ning Chuan before, he dared not reprimand him. Ning Chuan said coldly. "Before, he showed no intention of holding back against me. What? Is he allowed to be ruthless, but I'm not allowed to fight back?" At this moment, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing walked over. Xiao Wu said indignantly, "Exactly. How can someone activate all their spirit rings and blast a classmate like that right from the start? If it weren't for little Six, if it were you and Fatty, you would have been severely injured or even unconscious." Although Xiao Wu was angry with Ning Chuan, that was all it was. Ever since he made her cry, Ning Chuan had angered her enough over the years, but at critical moments, she still protected Ning Chuan. Zhu Zhuqing also didn't give Dai Mubai a good look. She knew Dai Mubai was taking his anger out on Ning Chuan because of her. Her cold eyes cast a look at Dai Mubai as if he were trash. "Dai Mubai, you're too disappointing. You all." Seeing that Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing were both helping Ning Chuan, and Tang San, fearing Xiao Wu's anger, also refrained from speaking up for him, while Ma Hongjun even had a look of fear towards Ning Chuan. Dai Mubai let out a poof and spat out another mouthful of fresh blood. Chapter 38. Delighted at the prey, this wasn't due to his injuries, but because he was enraged. He was clearly the injured party, yet everyone sided with Ning Chuan, and that wretched Zhu Zhuqing, his fiancé, didn't help him, but instead helped Ning Chuan, an outsider. This was simply outrageous. Dai Mubai roared in his heart. Xiao Wu looked at Ning Chuan and said, "Little Six, are you all right?" Ning Chuan shook his head. What could be wrong with him? Even if something was wrong, it would be Dai Mubai. He then waved to the host below the stands. The host also reacted at this time, quickly coming to the stands and announcing Ning Chuan's victory. The match progressed quickly. A moment later, Zhu Zhuqing entered the arena. Due to Ning Chuan's butterfly effect, she didn't face Tang San. Her opponent was a gray wolf spirit master. Although his spirit power was slightly higher than Zhu Zhuqing's, he didn't even have the best spirit ring configuration, and his spirit quality wasn't great. So, Zhu Zhuqing won without much effort. When Zhu Zhuqing jumped off the arena, Ning Chuan was waiting for her in the Spirit Master passage. After a simple score registration, the two didn't return to the one-on-one arena stands, but went to the two-on-two arena area. Ning Chuan asked, and their arena match was still 3 matches away from starting. Neither of them went to watch, they just waited in the preparation area. Zhu Zhuqing took off her cat mask, her voice filled with apology. "I'm sorry about what happened earlier. I dragged you into it." Ning Chuan took off his Firefox mask. "It has nothing to do with you. Although I've only known him for a few days, from observation, that person is inherently lecherous. Any woman he fancies will be regarded as his possession, then played with and discarded. This morning, after you left the dining hall, he asked me to give you to him. I didn't want to see my classmate get hurt, so I didn't agree. It's only natural that he would turn against me." Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing felt a warmth in her heart and whispered, "Thank you." "There's nothing to thank me for. Anyway, I'm not the one who suffered, and don't look at me like this. I actually have selfish motives too," Ning Chuan said, pointing to himself. Zhu Zhuqing was startled. "What selfish motives?" Ning Chuan looked Zhu Zhuqing up and down, smiling. "Well, you see, you're so beautiful and have such a good personality. Few men wouldn't be tempted." This was the first time someone had said she had a good personality. Zhu Zhuqing was amused by Ning Chuan's words, and for no reason, she unexpectedly asked, "Then will you be tempted?" "Of course, extremely tempted," Ning Chuan nodded lightly, looking self-absorbed. Upon hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing instantly fell silent, the smile on her face abruptly stopping. Her face was slightly lowered. In all fairness, she didn't dislike this newly met big boy. In fact, She felt very comfortable being with him without the oppressive feeling she used to have. If she had to choose one person among Dai Mubai, Ning Chuan, and others, she would most likely choose Ning Chuan without hesitation. It was just a pity that she had no right to choose between heaven and hell. She only had the fate of being chosen. As a child of the Zhu family in the Star Luo Empire, from the moment her spirit awakened, or even from birth, her destiny had already been decided. She couldn't resist the Zhu family, couldn't resist the Star Luo imperial family, and even less could she resist the Star Luo Empire. She was just a small spirit grandmaster. She had no choice. Agreeing to Ning Chuan would only harm him. Ning Chuan knew what Zhu Zhuking was worried about, but he didn't care. Anyway, haste makes waste. From the moment Little Cat didn't directly refuse, he knew he had already succeeded halfway. After that, neither side spoke again. They sat cross-legged on chairs, Zhu Zhuking recovering her spirit power and Ning Chuan cultivating. The two-on-two arena matches took longer than the one-on-one. By the time it was their turn to appear, Zhu Zhuking's spirit power had already recovered. At this moment, the arena was announcing a new round of two-on-two arena matches. 7th match, Blade Axe Combination versus Kingju Combination. The Blade Axe Combination, as the name suggests, had one spirit of a narrow blade and one spirit of a giant axe. Both had 2 yellow and 1 purple spirit rings, which were optimal configurations. Their spirit power was also higher than Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuking, exceeding level 35. Especially the narrow blade spirit master, whose spirit power was even higher than Dai Mubai's, at least reaching level 38. If it were any other Shrek person with such a spirit power gap, they would most likely lose when facing them. But unfortunately, they ran into Ning Chuan. "I'll be the main attacker. You provide support from the side." As soon as they got on stage, Ning Chuan laid out the tactics. The blade-axe combination was a bit surprised to see a spirit elder and a spirit grandmaster on stage. The host was also stunned for a moment. It seems the Kingju combination has some bad luck. Let the arena begin. As soon as the host finished speaking, Ning Chuan unusually took the initiative to attack. He soared into the air, flipping mid-air, and delivered a powerful, heavy strike resembling splitting Mount Hua directly at the giant axe spirit elder, who had higher spirit power. Clang! The giant axe in the giant axe spirit elder's hand was knocked away, his eyes filled with disbelief. No matter what, he couldn't have imagined that this masked fellow could unleash such formidable power, knocking away his 80-pound giant axe with a single sword strike. Don't even think about it. The narrow blade spirit elder naturally couldn't watch his companion be instantly killed. His first spirit ring and second spirit ring lit up consecutively. First, he unleashed a half-meter-long yellow blade energy to force Ning Chuan back. Then he continuously swung dozens, even hundreds, of strikes at him, faster than Zhu Zhuking. It seemed the opponent was an agility attack system, and his spirit development direction was somewhat similar to Zhu Zhuking's. Clang, 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 clang. After dodging the narrow blade spirit elder's yellow blade energy, Ning Chuan held his sword with one hand, engaging the narrow blade spirit elder's second spirit ability with a horizontal slash. At this moment, Zhu Zhuking, seizing the opportunity, made her move. First spirit ability, Hell Rush Stab. Second spirit ability, Netherworld 100 Claws, facing Zhu Zhuking, whose speed was not inferior to an ordinary agility attack system spirit elder. The spirit elder whose giant axe had been knocked away was utterly defenseless. In a moment, he was sent flying off the arena by Zhu Zhuking's Netherworld 100 Claws. At the same time, Ning Chuan was also about to decide the victor. After completely receiving all of the narrow blade spirit elder's second spirit ability, Ning Chuan used a downward slash combined with continuous upward and downward slashes, unleashing 3 intersecting sword energies to break through the opponent's third spirit ability. Finally, using a sweeping upward sword strike to knock away the opponent's narrow blade, They won this 2-on-2 arena match. After the host announced their victory, Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing walked off the arena side by side. Why didn't you use your spirit ability just now? With your strength, you should have been able to win very easily if you had used your spirit ability, right? Zhu Zhuqing asked curiously. Because she had just defeated her opponent, she was in a very good mood at this time, and a bright smile appeared on her originally cold face. Ning Chuan smiled faintly. I just got excited by the hunt. This narrow blade spirit elder is quite strong and gave me a lot of inspiration. This was a habit he had long developed. Every time he encountered a spirit master with a blade or sword spirit, he would wait until the opponent had fully displayed all their spirit abilities before defeating them. Chapter 39, Only the Useless Mubai is the Good Mubai. When Ning Chuan took off his mask, shed his black robe, and walked out of the Spirit Master passage of the 2-on-2 Soul Arena with Zhu Zhuqing, Tang San, Xiao Wu, and Ma Hongjun had already completed their respective soul battles. Except for Dai Mubai losing to Ning Chuan and being disliked by Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, everyone else won their soul battles, which was not bad. Little Six, Zhuqing, how was it? Black Bro and I both won our 2 soul battles. Seeing Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing, Xiao Wu immediately went to greet them. Ning Chuan smiled. It was all right. The opponents were strong, so it took a bit more effort. Hearing this, everyone knew that the two had won their 2-on-2 soul battle. Zhuqing's strength aside, Ning Chuan's strength was evident. Dai Mubai snorted coldly and said to Ma Hongjun, Fatty, didn't the dean say he wanted you to go to his shop? I'll go with you. Upon hearing this, a hint of excitement flashed in Ma Hongjun's small eyes. What, Boss Dai, are you finally not pretending anymore? Well, you should have given up long ago. Hanging yourself on one tree isn't like your style, Boss Dai. Dai Mubai glared at Ma Hongjun in annoyance. Less nonsense. Are you going or not? If not, I'll go find those twins myself. He was openly telling Zhu Zhuqing that he was going to the red light district to retaliate against her and make her regret it. But Zhu Zhuqing seemed not to have heard him, remaining silent the entire time, not even glancing at Dai Mubai. This made him even more furious. Go, of course I'll go. Ma Hongjun looked at Tang San, his chubby face flushed with excitement. Tang San, are you going? Ma Hongjun felt that Tang San looked even more pathetic than him, and it was probably impossible for him to find a girlfriend in this life, so he invited Tang San. Whether he was pretending or not, Tang San seemed not to understand Ma Hongjun's meaning. Go do what? Xiao Wu snorted and said, What else could it be? The lustful tiger is going to find those twins, and this fatty must be unable to suppress his evil fire, so he's going to harm girls. Ma Hongjun corrected, We're not harming them, we're doing our part to rescue those fallen girls. Besides, don't you know there's a place called the Red Light District in this world? You're actually going to a place like that? Tang San looked incredulous. Dai Mubai glanced at Zhu Zhuqing, and seeing that she still had no reaction, he became even angrier, impatiently saying, Less nonsense, Tang San, are you going or not? If you go, brother will treat you to a courtesan tonight. Forget it, you guys go by yourselves. I'm not interested in that kind of place. Tang San glanced at Xiao Wu, afraid she might misunderstand. Hearing this, Dai Mubai didn't pester him further and led Ma Hongjun away. After Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun left, Zhu Zhuqing finally spoke. Indeed, men are all filthy. Xiao Wu giggled. Sister Zhuqing, putting others aside, Ning Chuan is very clean. Hearing this, Zhu Zhuqing did not refute. Tang San, afraid that Xiao Wu would misunderstand him, retorted, Xiao Wu, I'm clean too. Yes, you're also very clean, Xiao Wu said perfunctorily, then looked at Ning Chuan and said, Let's go, Little Six, we should head back. Ning Chuan shook his head. You guys go back first. I still have some things to take care of. I'll catch up with you later. Since Dai Mubai was going to the Red Light District, he naturally wouldn't miss this opportunity. After all, only a crippled Dai Mubai could be considered a good Dai Mubai. After saying this, Ning Chuan turned and left. He's not going to the Red Light District too, is he? with the intention of lowering Ning Chuan's favorability in Xiao Wu's heart, even by a little, Tang San asked, feigning surprise. Unexpectedly, he drew a scolding from Xiao Wu. "You're the one who'll go to the red light district." "Little Black, how many times have I told you not to badmouth Little Six behind his back? If you do that again, I really won't talk to you." An angry Xiao Wu didn't even call him Black Bro, directly calling him Little Black. Zhu Zhuqing also spoke, a rare occurrence. "I also hate it when people maliciously slander others behind their backs." Exactly, Zhuqing, let's go." Saying this, Xiao Wu stepped forward and took Zhu Zhuqing's hand, and the two quickly departed. Tang San was left alone, distraught and indignant in the wind. Of course, this indignation was directed at Ning Chuan. Then, Tang San, fearing that Xiao Wu would truly stop talking to him, quickly chased after them, apologizing profusely. On the other side, after leaving Soto City's Great Soul Arena, Ning Chuan put on a half-face mask and went directly to a secluded alley, finding a small shop with a sign that read Pleasure. The shop layout was very simple, with only an embedded shelf and a counter. The shelf displayed explicit books, and the counter held various sizes of bottles and jars. The owner of the pleasure shop lay leisurely in a rocking chair, not even glancing at Ning Chuan, just lazily saying, "All the goods are on the counter. Pick them yourself. Large bottles are 5 silver coins, small bottles are 3 silver coins, no bargaining." Ning Chuan didn't waste words, directly pulled out a bag of gold coins and threw it into the owner's arms. The owner weighed it. There were over 100 coins, and his eyes immediately lit up. He shot up, and while putting the gold coins into his arms, he looked at Ning Chuan with a fawning expression and said, "May I ask what the esteemed guest needs?" "Large quantity, strong effect, long-lasting," Ning Chuan said faintly. "Oh, esteemed guest, you've come to the right person." The pleasure shop owner flashed behind the counter, pushed aside all the bottles and jars, and then took out 3 differently shaped jars from below, each with a label. As he spoke, he seemed to remember something and took out a small bottle from a hidden compartment in the counter. "This is our shop's treasure. I love a log. Don't let its small size fool you. Even an elephant would walk on 5 legs after smelling it." Very good, I'll take them all." Ning Chuan put the 3 jars into his spirit tool and took the bottle, saying, "Esteemed guest, you must remember, never take it orally. You only need to smell it," the owner reminded. "What happens if I take it? This is the effect I want. As for the remaining 3 sacred medicines, they're all for Dai Mubai to use later. I'll give him a packet every day from now on." Ning Chuan smiled inwardly, pulled out the stopper, and drank it all in front of the owner. Immediately, a wave of heat surged from below. "Ding, detected side effect. I love a log. Please select the binding recipient, bind Dai Mubai." The system text immediately changed. Side effect, I love a log. Designated recipient of side effect. Dai Mubai is an attack system spirit master and a beast spirit. I don't think he'll die so easily. Hehe, Dai Mubai, I hope you like this gift I'm giving you. After transferring the side effect, Ning Chuan left as if nothing had happened. Only the bewildered owner remained. Chapter 40. Things are getting more interesting. This isn't right. After taking a whole bottle, even a soft-legged shrimp should be as solid as a rock. Why is this person showing no reaction at all? Is there something wrong with the medicine? What the FCK? The boss thought there was a problem with his sacred medicine. He picked up the bottle Ning Chuan had thrown down, licked it, and without even bothering to close his shop, ran straight to the nearest red light district. He knew that if he didn't resolve it soon, he would definitely explode and die. Red House, Soto City's largest club. "Boss Dai, how were those twins I arranged for you last time? Were you satisfied? Today, our club has a new batch of good merchandise. There's a cat-eared girl whose spirit mutated, so she can't retract it into her body." A heavily made-up madam said with a beaming smile. "No need, let's save it for next time. Just make sure my brother is well taken care of." Dai Mubai shook his head. After much thought, he decided he couldn't continue to degenerate like this. Otherwise, his fiancée would truly be snatched away by that scoundrel Ning Chuan. Just as he was about to leave, a wave of heat suddenly swept through his entire body. Immediately after, he felt incredibly hot all over, as if scalded by boiling water, quickly turning red. Quickly bring me that cat-eared girl. All right, Boss Dai, I'll arrange it for you right away. No, I can't wait, it's you. Suddenly, Dai Mubai seemed to lose his mind, pressing the madam, who was over 50, directly onto the sofa. Ma Hongjun, who was intensely battling a phoenix in the inner room, heard the commotion outside. He peeked his head out, still holding the phoenix, and instantly froze in shock. Good heavens, since when did Boss Dai's taste become so heavy? He's not even letting the madam off the hook, regardless of Dai Mubai's situation. After leaving the adult shop, Ning Chuan went to buy some laxatives and other prank-related drugs, just in case. When Ning Chuan caught up with Tang San, Zhu Zhuqing, and Xiao Wu, and the four returned to Shrek Academy together, they saw Ning Rongrong and Oscar at the main entrance. Ning Rongrong was leaning against the archway at the school gate, panting heavily with sweat dripping, her beautiful face filled with exhaustion and glistening beads of sweat, yet still radiating a confident smile. Oscar, on the other hand, looked somewhat unwell, occasionally stealing glances at Ning Rongrong, his expression carrying a hint of unwillingness and humiliation. How was it? Did you finish running? Ning Chuan asked Ning Rongrong. Of course. A full 20 laps, not one less. Ning Rongrong was still a bit out of breath as she spoke, but her face was beaming with a smile. Having liberated her nature, she glanced at the four, and seeing that Ma Hongjun and Dai Mubai hadn't returned, she said without reservation. What? Dai Mubai and Fatty didn't come back. Did they go to the red light district to find phoenixes again? Those two are really like that. Sister Zhuqing, it's a good thing you didn't fall for that evil eye-lustful tiger's trick, otherwise it would have been awful. Ning Chuan is still the best. He's handsome, strong, and especially pure. He's much better than that evil eye-lustful tiger. After speaking, Ning Rongrong didn't forget to wink at Ning Chuan. Black lines appeared on Ning Chuan's face. Is this how you speak well of me? Hearing Ning Rongrong's words, Zhu Zhuqing sighed inwardly, ignored her, and walked away. But Xiao Wu immediately bristled. Rongrong, how can you say that? It was fine to talk about Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun, but how could she say Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuqing were a good match? What about her? Tang San remembered Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing previously saying they hated despicable people who maliciously slandered others behind their backs, so he immediately echoed, "We are all classmates. How can you casually slander others behind their backs?" Audiobooks. Douluo fanfic at this moment. Oscar, who had been fawning over Ning Rongrong for a long time with no success, finally erupted, using Tang San's words. Enough! Ning Rongrong, Boss Dai and Fatty are your classmates after all. You really disappoint me. The two were clearly not on the same wavelength as Xiao Wu. Oscar, do you dare say that again? Ning Rongrong hadn't expected this guy, who claimed to like her, to dare to speak to her like that. Oscar said words similar to the original novel. I said you really disappoint me. Yes, I do like you, but that's the gentle you. Even if there's a huge background difference between us, I don't care. But now I realize I was wrong. You're not the type I like. You can't make me give up the entire forest. I'm not worthy of a young lady from your 7-treasure glazed tile school. Moreover, in your eyes, what exactly am I? A servant? If I'm a servant, then you certainly don't lack one more. Sorry, I've never had the habit of being a slave to anyone. Xiao Wu clearly hadn't expected Oscar to bring up that topic, looking speechless. What are you all talking about? Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun really did go to the red light district, all right. I'm saying little Six and Zhuqing are innocent. They have no relationship whatsoever. How did you two suddenly start talking about the heavens? This. Tang San and Oscar only then realized. Tang San was better off. At most, he would apologize to Xiao Wu and coax her well. It wouldn't take long for Xiao Wu to cool down. Moreover, he didn't care about Ning Rongrong's feelings anyway. He liked Xiao Wu. but Oscar was in a bad way. That passionate speech, just now, had directly made Ning Rongrong's eyes well up with tears. Although she hadn't initially shed her young lady's temper, and deep down, as Ning Chuan said, looked down on the Shrek group, after Ning Chuan's reminder, she had long since abandoned her previous thoughts and had begun to treat everyone as friends, including Oscar. Otherwise, she wouldn't have persisted in running all 20 laps. Who knew that in Oscar's heart she was actually such a person? Indeed, Ning Chuan was right. In this academy, everyone treated her like a vase, and no one would help her. If she didn't want to get hurt, she could only rely on herself. As for those who bullied her, Dai Mubai, Oscar, and Tang San, she would definitely seek revenge and repay grudges in the future. Rongrong, Oscar looked at Ning Rongrong, who was on the verge of tears and suddenly panicked. HMPH, Oscar, from now on, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You should go find your forest. Anyway, looking at you, you've probably been with more than one girl, so you don't lack me. After speaking, Ning Rongrong forced back the grievance in her heart, wiped away her tears, and ran off directly. Boom! Hearing this, Oscar was instantly struck by lightning, feeling as if the sky was collapsing. He just stood there, dumbfounded. Ning Chuan watched everyone's reactions, secretly amused in his heart. Things are really getting more and more interesting. At this moment, Xiao Wu looked at Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan, don't listen to them. You and Zhuking clearly have no relationship. They're talking nonsense, right? Her eyes were slightly red, as if Ning Chuan answered that he had a relationship with Zhu Zhuking, she would burst into tears. Chapter 41. Oscar is completely heartbroken. Tang San also looked at Ning Chuan with burning eyes, while shouting in his heart, Ning Chuan, hurry up and answer yes. Don't you like Zhu Zhuking a lot? This way, Xiao Wu can give up on you. But little did he know, Ning Chuan truly had no relationship with Zhu Zhuking at this moment. Go to bed early. Leaving that sentence, Ning Chuan turned and walked into the academy. Xiao Wu wiped her tears and excitedly followed him. In her heart, Ning Chuan would never lie. Since he didn't answer yes, it meant no. Tang San shook his head regretfully and followed as well, leaving Oscar alone and disheveled in the wind. Early the next morning, as soon as dawn broke, Ning Chuan woke up from his cultivation and began his daily sword practice. Holding an iron rod with 600 jin of barbell plates attached, Ning Chuan practiced his sword swings, his mind replaying the battle with the narrow blade spirit elder from yesterday. Especially the second spirit ability, instantly unleashing dozens, even hundreds of slashes, and each slash was of extremely high quality. Although this was achieved through a spirit ability, it gave Ning Chuan great inspiration. After an hour of practicing sword swings, Ning Chuan suddenly summoned his spirit, mimicking the narrow blade spirit master's movements, and swiftly unleashed hundreds of sword strikes towards a 2-meter-tall granite rock in front of him. The sword light was dazzling, and a majestic blue sword kai instantly enveloped the granite. The next second, straight and narrow cracks appeared on the granite surface, about half a meter above the ground. Stones peeled off little by little along the cracks, eventually becoming a pile of rubble. The power isn't bad. Ning Chuan nodded with satisfaction. Although it wasn't yet perfected, as long as he could practice until it became second nature, he believed it would further enhance his close combat ability. After finishing his sword practice, Ning Chuan briefly practiced some other sword techniques he had learned years ago, then went to eat breakfast. He wasn't the earliest riser. Zhu Zhuking still was. When Ning Chuan went to eat breakfast, Zhu Zhuking was already eating. Seeing Ning Chuan arrive, she nodded slightly at him. Following Ning Chuan and Zhu Zhuking, Tang San, who had just finished cultivating his purple demon eye, also arrived. Next were Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong. The two of them had talked about something last night and seemed to have reconciled. Seeing Zhu Zhuking there, they immediately sat down next to her. Finally, Ma Hongjun arrived, but judging by his appearance, he didn't seem very satisfied with his trip to the red light district last night. His face was filled with lingering fear, and he seemed hesitant to speak. As for Dai Mubai and Oscar, neither of them came to the cafeteria. Where are the other two? Why don't I see them? Seeing that they had finished breakfast, Ning Chuan suddenly asked, feigning ignorance. You'll have to ask Fatty and Black Bro, Xiao Wu said. Fatty, Black Bro, aren't you in the same dorm as Oscar and Dai Mubai? Where are they? Tang San said. Little Ao is in meditation, still cultivating. I didn't disturb him. Ma Hongjun also looked puzzled. I don't know either. I came back after everything was done yesterday. Boss Dai told me to leave first, but he's especially fierce and not picky. When I left, he had even taken down the madam. As soon as Ma Hongjun said this, everyone showed expressions of disgust. Could this Dai Mubai have been drained dry? Ning Rongrong's words were shocking. Ma Hongjun said, it shouldn't be that bad. Xiao Wu's face was full of disdain. She said, why not? This Dai Mubai even went after the madam, how disgusting. As she spoke, she didn't forget to glance at Ning Chuan, secretly nodding, little 6 is the best. Ning Rongrong nodded in deep agreement, and Tang San naturally wouldn't refute Xiao Wu. As for Zhu Zhuking, she showed no reaction, as if she hadn't heard their conversation, simply drinking her white porridge. Only Ning Chuan knew that Dai Mubai was truly going to be crippled. Everyone chatted idly, and Dai Mubai quickly became the center of attention. Unbeknownst to them, the bell for class rang, and everyone finished breakfast and headed to the main training ground. Today, Flender was still teaching them. He glanced at Ning Rongrong and said, the dean is very pleased that you were able to stay and complete the courses I assigned in the end. Ning Rongrong snorted lightly, saying nothing. Flender continued, where are Mubai and Little Ao? Tang San quickly said, reporting, Little Ao is still cultivating and has entered meditation. Ning Rongrong chimed in, that Dai Mubai went to the red light district with Fatty last night and hasn't returned yet. Flender frowned. Tang San, go call Little Ao. This class today must have Little Ao present. Also, when Mubai returns, tell him to come find me in the dean's office. He dares to skip my class. This is simply outrageous. It was clear that Flender seemed to be angry. Just then, Oscar rushed over from the dorm, his face full of excitement. Dean, I've broken through to rank 30. Oscar, are you trying to? What? You've broken through to rank 30. Not just Flender, but everyone except Ning Chuan showed surprised expressions simultaneously. Oscar was 14 years old this year, and he was also of the most difficult to cultivate food system. To be able to advance to Spirit Elder at 14 years old was almost unprecedented among food system spirit masters. Good, Little Ao. You really didn't disappoint me. You are the third existing student to reach rank 30. On behalf of the Academy, I congratulate you. Flender said. Good, 3 times in a row, which showed how happy he was. However, Ning Chuan didn't think much of it. Advancing to Spirit Elder at 14 years old still depended on who it was. Oscar had innate full spirit power, yet he only advanced to Spirit Elder at 14, which only meant he had been negligent. Ning Rongrong still seemed to be bothered by yesterday's events. She turned her head to Ning Chuan and asked, Ning Chuan, when did you break through to Spirit Elder? How much innate spirit power do you have? Ning Chuan answered frankly, I broke through to Spirit Elder a month ago. Innate spirit power is half a rank. Did you hear that? He broke through a month ago. What? Your innate spirit power is only half a rank. Ning Rongrong looked at him in shock, as did Ma Hongjun, Flender, and even Zhu Zhuking. What, is there a problem? Ning Chuan asked in a Versailles-like manner. Of course there's a problem, a huge problem, all right. Ning Rongrong said in surprise. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone with half a rank of innate spirit power advancing to Spirit Elder. Very few even become Spirit Masters. Spirit Grandmasters are even rarer. And your spirit looks no weaker than my grandpa Sword's 7-kill sword. How could it only be half a rank of innate spirit power? This was the first time Xiao Wu had learned about Ning Chuan's innate spirit power. She was equally surprised, but more than that, she felt heartache and admiration. Heartache for why Ning Chuan worked so hard every day. Admiration for Ning Chuan's indomitable spirit, being able to surpass everyone at Shrek with such talent. Ning Chuan smiled slightly. All of this is thanks to my teacher. If it weren't for her guidance, I wouldn't have been able to reach this point today. He attributed all the credit to Louise. Chapter 42. Dai Mubai is squeezed dry, recalling all the good things Louise had done for him over the years. Ning Chuan couldn't help but show a gentle smile on his face. Xiao Wu congratulated sincerely. Little Six, congratulations to him. All right, class officially begins now. Flender said, starting his so-called lesson, which was very simple. Consuming Oscar's sausage, Ning Chuan didn't go against Flender because of this. It would have been unwise. Besides, Oscar's spirit ability, apart from the amusing spirit incantation, was quite good in terms of effect and taste. After class, Flender announced that starting tomorrow, Zhao Wuji would lead everyone to the Stardew Great Forest to hunt a spirit ring for Oscar. Then he kept Ning Chuan alone. After feeling his pulse and injecting spirit power into his body to investigate, he found that Ning Chuan showed no signs of having taken any drugs. On the contrary, his physique, meridians, and internal organs were incredibly strong, much stronger than Dai Mubai, who possessed a beast spirit. While feeling happy for Ning Chuan, he couldn't help but think of Yu Xiaogang. Both had similar talents, but their circumstances were completely different. Ning Chuan, do you know why I kept you back? Flender looked at Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan answered without hesitation. It should be to check if I have taken any drugs with side effects. That's just one reason. Since you are a student of my Shrek Academy, I should be responsible for you. As for the second reason, honestly, I have an old friend who, like you, also has innate spirit power of half a level. At this point, Flender began to feel embarrassed. After all, it was a very shameful thing for a dean to ask a student how to cultivate on the Douluo Continent, but for Yu Xiaogang, he was willing to sacrifice his old face. Hearing this, Ning Chuan's lips curved into a smile. Is the dean referring to that grandmaster who teaches Tang San? Flender nodded and began to recount Yu Xiaogang's various difficulties. Ning Chuan sneered inwardly, but said aloud, Dean, since he wants to break through so much, why doesn't he come and ask me himself? This. Flender hesitated. Ning Chuan, you also came from Noding Academy, so you must know his temper. Ning Chuan interrupted him, Dean. It's not that I look down on him, but if he can't even humble himself for such a small matter, then what kind of spirit master is he? He's just a coward who only knows how to hide behind others. Does the dean think he would be a coward? Moreover, when we were just about to consume Oscar's sausage, the dean said that for survival, a spirit master must use any means necessary. In life-threatening moments, let alone Oscar's sausage, even cockroaches and rats must be eaten. Does that mean this grandmaster is not even as good as us children? Flender hadn't expected Ning Chuan to apply what he learned so quickly and was at a loss for how to refute him. This. All right, when he comes, I'll let him ask you. However, although he said this, he knew in his heart that with Yu Xiaogang's temper, he would never be able to humble himself and ask personally. Early the next morning, after breakfast, everyone gathered on the training ground. Dai Mubai still hadn't arrived, but Zhao Wuji was there. As Ning Chuan had predicted, Zhao Wuji was beaten much worse than in the original story. His body was covered in bandages, his facial bones were deformed, his nose bridge was caved in, he had only a few teeth left in his mouth, and he had a black eye. He looked utterly miserable. Did Tang Rishan think Zhao Wuji looked too much like Tang San, and that's why he specifically aimed for Zhao Wuji's face? Ning Chuan guessed in his heart. The others suppressed their laughter. Zhao Wuji glared at everyone and looked at Ning Chuan, saying, Ning Chuan, have you been to the Stardew Great Forest? I have. His second and third spirit rings were obtained in the Stardew Great Forest. All right, Mubai is feeling a bit unwell and can't go, so you'll lead the team today, Zhao Wuji said audiobooks. Douluo fanfic, he didn't know why. But last night, Flender suddenly summoned all the Shrek Academy teachers. He said that Dai Mubai hadn't returned yet, and thought something might have happened to him. So he had all the teachers of Shrek Academy search for him overnight in Soto City. They finally found him at the red light district that Ma Hongjun had mentioned. The other party was already unconscious, and upon asking, they found out that this guy had been fooling around in the red light district for a day and a night. Ning Rongrong suddenly asked. Teacher Zhao, was Dai Mubai drained? Upon hearing this, although everyone already knew Ning Rongrong's little devilish personality, they were still shocked. This girl really dared to say anything in front of a teacher. Zhao Wuji's mouth twitched, and he coughed dryly, saying, Don't talk about those irrelevant things. Let's go quickly. However, it was better that he didn't say anything, because as soon as he spoke, everyone became even more suspicious. Ning Chuan? Zhao Wuji looked at Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan nodded and began to arrange the formation. He would lead the way at the very front, taking the initiative. Oscar and Ning Rongrong, two support system spirit masters, would follow behind. Ma Hongjun and Tang San would be on the left and right sides. As for Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, they would be at the end of the team. As a teacher, Zhao Wuji would not intervene unless there was a life-threatening situation. Shrek Academy was not far from the Stardew Great Forest, only 600 li. Everyone was a spirit master, and there was a food system spirit master to replenish their stamina and spirit power. One day later, they successfully arrived at a small town 100 li away from the Stardew Great Forest. It was quite amusing to think about. In the original story, during the same time period, almost everyone at Shrek Academy ostracized Ning Rongrong. But because of Ning Chuan's influence, not only did Ning Rongrong complete Flender's course, but she also prevented Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing from ostracizing her. Since Xiao Wu didn't ostracize her, Tang San, even if he disliked Ning Rongrong's temper, naturally wouldn't ostracize her. Ma Hongjun was a fence-sitter, going whichever way the wind blew, so he certainly wouldn't ostracize her. Instead, it was Oscar, who had vowed yesterday that he wouldn't give up an entire forest for Ning Rongrong, who seemed out of place among them. And so, Ning Rongrong, the little rich girl, offered to treat everyone, and Ning Chuan and the other 6 found a table in a corner and sat down. As for Zhao Wuji, as a teacher of Shrek Academy, he wouldn't spend money on students, nor would he spend students' money. He ordered a few dishes for himself and went upstairs to his room alone. While waiting for the dishes to be served, Oscar felt uncomfortable no matter how he sat. He tried to reconcile with Ning Rongrong more than once, but she always brushed him off. And at this moment, compared to Oscar, she was clearly more interested in Ning Chuan. Using the opportunity to chat, she asked Ning Chuan a question that had puzzled her for a long time. Oh, by the way, Ning Chuan, is it convenient to ask you a question? Our second spirit rings are all 100-year ones, but why is yours a 1,000-year one? How exactly did you manage that? Of course, you can. It's not a big deal anyway. Chapter 43. Give Hannah tape as soon as Ning Chuan finished speaking. Not only Ning Rongrong, but also Zhu Zhuqing and Tang San looked at him, each pricking up their ears and staring intently at Ning Chuan, unwilling to miss a single detail. After all, no one doesn't want to obtain a spirit ring with a higher age limit. The higher the age limit of the spirit ring obtained, the more spirit power can be increased, and the stronger the skills obtained. Xiao Wu, on the other hand, seemed a bit sulky and puffed out her cheeks, displeased with how popular Ning Chuan was with girls. Oscar was equally sulky. He realized that if things continued like this, Ning Rongrong would likely be completely out of his reach. Ning Chuan spoke with a straight face, spouting nonsense. Actually, it's very simple. You just need to do special training every day. What kind of special training is it exactly? Tang San swallowed hard. Although he didn't like Ning Chuan, he even resented him because Xiao Wu was close to him, and because he had slandered his teacher back then, and he hated him. But he also had to admit that Ning Chuan's strength was indeed very strong, and most importantly, those 2,000-year spirit rings were genuine. If he could also achieve what Ning Chuan did before cultivating his second spirit, he might not be without a chance to surpass the other in cultivation. Ning Chuan said seriously. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and then run 10 kilometers every day. It's that simple. Everyone was speechless. Could this really allow them to obtain an overlimit spirit ring? They must be kidding. It was like saying nothing at all. Tang San, however, was thoughtful because Ning Chuan did indeed do these exercises, just with greater intensity. Maybe he should try it himself someday? Fatty, look, there are beauties. Just then, Oscar, who was being excluded by Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu and couldn't stand the atmosphere, saw 8 spirit masters enter the hotel. Each of them had the characters Kanghui embroidered on their left shoulder. The leader was a middle-aged man in his 40s, who seemed to be the team's teacher. Among the 7 students, there happened to be a girl who looked quite good, to divert attention, and also to implement Shrek Academy's policy of those who dare not cause trouble are mediocre. Oscar lightly nudged Ma Hongjun. Wow, a beauty, I like her. When Fatty saw the other party, a mischievous glint immediately appeared in his round little eyes. He brazenly scrutinized the girl. Oscar curled his lips. It's just a small Kanghui Academy. Fatty, if you like her, just go for it. Neither Ma Hongjun nor Oscar deliberately lowered their voices, and spirit masters' hearing far surpassed that of ordinary people, so all 8 of them heard clearly. Oscar, fearing that Ning Rongrong would misunderstand, explained to everyone. This is also part of our training. The dean said that those who dare not cause trouble are mediocre, and provoking people from spirit master academies is the safest. At most, it's just a fight. Tang San smiled after hearing this, thinking that this truly deserved to be called a monster academy. Ning Chuan, however, said, "What if we encounter a spirit master academy that is stronger than us, and their teacher is also stronger than ours? Would you still dare to go then?" "Of course not, we're not stupid." Oscar shook his head frantically. Ning Chuan continued, "If you encounter weaker ones, you cause trouble, and if you encounter stronger ones, you hide. Isn't that just bullying the weak and fearing the strong? And honestly, I really dislike the act of teasing girls." Hearing this, Xiao Wu, who was originally eager to fight, immediately found it very reasonable. Exactly. I hate bullying the weak and fearing the strong and teasing girls the most. Tang San, while inwardly scoffing at Ning Chuan's words and thinking he was making a fuss, was also glad he hadn't spoken. Otherwise, Xiao Wu would surely be angry with him again. As for Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuking, they also instinctively frowned upon hearing teasing girls. Especially Ning Rongrong, who was already dissatisfied with Oscar, immediately felt even more disgusted. However, disgust aside, the 8 people from Kanghui Academy were clearly enraged by Oscar and Ma Hongjun at this moment. One of the youths stood up and walked towards their table. As a waiter approached with a plate of dishes, he directly bumped into the waiter, causing the plate to spill onto Ning Chuan's head, who was closest. Ning Chuan didn't even look. As if he had eyes in the back of his head, his left hand shot out like lightning, catching the dishes. While steadying the waiter with his right hand, he lifted his size 42 shoe and kicked it directly at the youth's chin. The person didn't even react to what was happening before being kicked flying by Ning Chuan. Vaguely, everyone seemed to hear the sound of a dislocated jaw. Immediately after, the youth's body spun 360 degrees in the air, landing face up, and crashed heavily onto Yi Jikyu's table. The table shattered with a crash. "Didn't you say you wouldn't bully the weak and fear the strong and wouldn't tease girls?" Oscar gasped. He realized that Ning Chuan was simply a devil. When he acted, he was truly merciless. "I didn't provoke them, but they came to provoke me. This is called not causing trouble and not fearing trouble, and besides, I didn't tease any girls." Ning Chuan gently placed the dishes on the table, not spilling a single drop. Don't let his sword fighting fool you. He hadn't neglected his close-quarters combat either. Yi Jikyu reset the youth's dislocated jaw, his face grim, and shouted at Ning Chuan. "Which academy are you from?" Ning Chuan spoke with a straight face, spouting nonsense. "We are from Tianan Academy." Tang-san, Xiao Wu, and the other 6 were all startled, looking at Ning Chuan in astonishment. Ning Chuan continued, "I am Han Lai, the chief student of Tianan Academy. Your Kanghui Academy student provoked me without reason just now. Shouldn't you give me an explanation?" Yi Jikyu's face was almost green with rage. He had seen shameless people, but never one so utterly shameless. It was clearly the people from Tianan Academy who had insulted their Kanghui Academy first, yet now they were demanding an explanation. Thinking that there was no Tianan Academy among the advanced Spirit Master Academies, and guessing it was some unknown wild chicken academy, he gave orders to the Kanghui students. Go for it. Teach them a lesson." The people from Kanghui Academy were already annoyed. Aside from the female student, teased by Ma Hongjun, and the youth kicked flying by Ning Chuan, the remaining 5 charged towards Ning Chuan's table. There was an empty table between the 2 groups. Seeing them charge at him, Ning Chuan didn't even think, directly kicking the tabletop in front of him. The first person to charge was directly hit in the face by the tabletop, resulting in a bloody head wound, and he fell to the ground, unable to get up. The remaining 4 youths hadn't even reacted when Ning Chuan flew forward with a punch, sending one person flying into the wall, creating a dent. All of this happened in a flash. The surrounding diners watched as 2 of the 5 Kanghui Academy members were instantly knocked down, and they were all dumbfounded. Yi Jikyu was also startled by Ning Chuan's strength, and he roared in both shock and anger. "You fools! Use your spirits." On the other side, Ma Hongjun was also startled by this scene. Holy cow, he's so fierce without even using his spirit. Chapter 44, excluding Oscar, Xiao Wu's eyes were full of stars. "Otherwise, what did you think? Little 6 is very strong." At this moment, Zhu Zhuking indeed stood up. "I'll go help." While they were talking, Ning Chuan delivered another aerial kick, striking a youth from Kanghui Academy. The person was kicked in the chest by Ning Chuan's flying kick, spitting out a mouthful of sour liquid, and flew backward. Meanwhile, the other 3 had finally completed their spirit possession. Their spirits were deer, goat, and horse, all of which were not very powerful beast spirits. Their spirit rings were even worse. Only 1 white and 1 yellow, just 2 spirit rings, not even the optimal spirit ring configuration. "Bastard, go to hell." The horse spirit master, seeing Ning Chuan knock down another one of their comrades, lit up his first and second spirit rings. Brown light emanated from his body, and his palms transformed into hard hooves as he swung his fists at Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan dodged the first few punches. As the hoof spirit master's right fist swung towards him, Ning Chuan's right hand glowed with a green light, and he also clenched his fist to meet the attack. Bang! The hoof cracked, and the horse spirit master painfully recoiled his hand. Ning Chuan then backhanded him with a chop to the side of his face, knocking him to the ground, unconscious. "We don't even need to help with this." Ning Rongrong swallowed hard as she watched this scene. Earlier, when fighting Zhao Wuji's strength was formidable enough that it wasn't so obvious. But now, fighting these lower-level spirit masters, Ning Rongrong truly witnessed Ning Chuan's might. Without even using his spirit, he could crush several battle spirit masters who had activated their spirits, just by relying on his spirit power. The horse spirit master could be said to be the strongest of the 3. Seeing that even he was beaten like this, the other 2 were instantly scared witless. Enough! Yi Jikyu, the teacher from Kanghui Academy, finally couldn't stand it anymore. He waved his hand at his students, signaling them to retreat, and at the same time looked at Ning Chuan and the others, saying, "I don't know what kind of Tianan Academy you are, but you'd best call out your teacher, otherwise this matter will definitely not be settled today." Mystic tortoise possession. As he spoke, a circle of black ripples emanated from Yi Jikyu's body. The intense aura caused Tang San, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuking, and Ma Hongjun to all activate their spirits just to withstand Yi Jikyu's aura. Yi Jikyu's entire body flickered with black light. His limbs had shortened by a third, and his whole person had transformed into a humanoid tortoise. 5 spirit rings, white, yellow, yellow, purple, and purple, encircled his body, revealing him to be a spirit king. As for Ning Chuan, he did not summon his spirit rings, only his spirit, azure bamboo bee cloud sword. A powerful spirit pressure burst forth, and the moment his aura erupted, it directly countersuppressed Yi Jikyu. Ma Hongjun knew Ning Chuan's strength. Even Zhao Wuji suffered a great loss at his hands, so what was this old bastard? With the 7 of them working together, it would be a piece of cake. So he imitated Ning Chuan, saying, "How dare an old bastard like you even think of meeting our Tianan Academy's teacher? We alone are more than enough to handle you." Bastard! Yi Jikyu's spirit was the mystic tortoise, and the word bastard was his biggest taboo. Just as he was about to start fighting, the trembling shop owner ran out. "Esteemed spirit masters, this humble shop is a small business and cannot withstand your destruction. Please take your fight outside." "Good, we'll fight outside. Do you dare to fight?" Yi Jikyu had not yet recovered from Ma Hongjun's old bastard remark. "What's there to be afraid of? Let's go." As the chief student of Tianan Academy, Ning Chuan naturally wouldn't refuse the challenge. After saying this, everyone walked outside. The people from Kanghui Academy walked ahead, with Ning Chuan and his group of 7 following behind. Tang San subconsciously wanted to popularize the theoretical knowledge he had learned from Yu Xiaogang. This old fellow's spirit is the mystic tortoise, which is a rather good water attribute spirit, I suggest. Tang San went on, talking a great deal, roughly suggesting using their speed advantage to distract, and using Ma Hongjun's flames to counter the mystic tortoise's water attribute. In summary, it was one sentence. They were not Yi Jikyu's match and could only entangle him, not hoping to win. How could Ning Chuan let Tang San have his way? Everything you said is based on Yi Jikyu's strength being sufficiently strong. In the original work, after Yu Xiaogang came to Shrek, he dedicated himself to building the Shrek 7 devils into a combat team belonging solely to Tang San. What he wanted was division. And incidentally, to display powerful strength, prompting Tang San to cultivate a second spirit early. Then what do you suggest? Tang San frowned, glaring at Ning Chuan. Directly break through with a single point, Ning Chuan whispered. Water attribute spirits usually choose ice-cold attribute spirit rings. Fatty, use the adhesive nature of your phoenix fire to restrict his spirit abilities. Tang San, control his movements. Zhuking, surprise attack. Rongrong, assist me first. I will send him flying into the air, causing him to be suspended. Xiao Wu, seize the opportunity. Leave everything else to me. Compared to Tang San, Ning Chuan's tactics were undoubtedly simpler, clearer, and more efficient. Everyone couldn't help but praise them. Although Tang San was displeased, seeing Xiao Wu's support, he couldn't refute, but Oscar was unhappy. What about me? You are a food system spirit master, not suitable for the battlefield. Just do a good job of logistics. Ning Chuan said casually. Oscar clenched his jaw, almost grinding his molars away. Originally, he wanted to achieve his goal of pursuing Ning Rongrong by making everyone ostracize her, creating a false impression that Ning Rongrong would have no friends other than them, and then extending a helping hand when she was most desperate and helpless. He never expected that. Ning Chuan, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuking were clearly all on Ning Rongrong's side. Tang San was Xiao Wu's devoted follower, and Ma Hongjun was a fence-sitter. Now, apart from a drained Dai Mubai, he himself had clearly become the ostracized party. A moment later, they arrived outside the small town. Because their spirit rings were too dazzling, they attracted many spectators from the town. By this time, Yi Jikyu had calmed down considerably. Recalling the ages and spirits of Ning Chuan and the others, he worried that this Tianan Academy might indeed be some extraordinary academy. He said in a deep voice, Henlai, I'm giving you another chance. It's still not too late to admit your mistake now. No need for further words. Ning Chuan had no unnecessary talk. Since they had decided to fight, there was no need to dwell on right or wrong. Move. At Ning Chuan's command, Ma Hongzhen's first spirit ring suddenly lit up, spewing a purplish-red fire line. As Ma Hongzhen launched the Phoenix Firewire, Zhu Zhuqing's first spirit ring also lit up. Her body circled from the side, and her speed was actually a full 10 to 20% faster than usual. As Ning Chuan sent out a sword kai from a distance, his heart stirred. Increasing his movement speed through a spirit ability, it seemed little cat had truly worked hard these past 2 days. Zhu Zhuqing's first spirit ability, Hell Rush Stab, was a close-range, single-target attack. Her claws suddenly extended, her speed instantly doubled, and she quickly used her sharp claws to assassinate the opponent. The effect was very good, but the weakness was also obvious. She could only perform linear attacks. So Ning Chuan suggested she try to apply the effect of this first spirit ability to herself, thereby increasing her speed. Currently, it seemed she already had some idea. Tang San was also surprised by Zhu Zhuqing's speed, but his actions were equally swift. Both of his spirit rings lit up simultaneously, and several blue-black vines with thorns swept towards Yi Zhiqiu. Chapter 45, Tang San wants to switch to cultivating the second martial spirit, facing the attacks from the fore. Yi Zhiqiu remained full of confidence. His entire body glowed with black light, and his first 2 spirit rings lit up one after another. As he turned his back to them, waves of cold air emanated from him. Ning Chuan's sword aura was the first to arrive. It ignored the cold air and landed on the turtle shell on Yi Zhiqiu's back, leaving a shallow mark and sending sparks flying. Immediately after, Ma Hongzhen's flames and the cold air collided. Although unable to penetrate, they adhered to the turtle's back and did not extinguish. Feeling the stinging pain and burning heat on his back, Yi Zhiqiu was startled. He thought, "This fatty's flames are one thing, but how is Han Lai's sword aura so powerful? It can leave a mark on his turtle shell from 7 or 8 meters away. If he were to land a solid hit and a few more slashes, what would happen then?" At this moment, Zhu Zhuqing had already appeared behind Yi Zhiqiu. She launched a Hell Rush Stab, aiming directly at Yi Zhiqiu's neck. Startled once again, Yi Zhiqiu quickly retracted his head into his turtle shell. Taking advantage of his obstructed vision, Tang San's blue-silver grass had already bound his right foot and pulled sharply. Yi Zhiqiu instantly lost his balance. By the time his head emerged from the turtle shell, Ning Rongrong had finished applying her support to Ning Chuan. Knowing that Zhao Wuji was the only spirit saint here, Ning Chuan no longer concealed his spirit rings. Yellow, purple, and purple, 3 spirit rings flashed out. His first spirit ring lit up, and Ning Chuan swung a 7 to 8 meter long light sword, delivering an upward slash that sent Yi Zhiqiu flying high into the sky. Immediately after, Ning Chuan moved in close and suddenly swung dozens, even hundreds of swords, each striking Yi Zhiqiu's chest, precisely where the previous sword aura had struck. This is... Zhu Zhuqing's pupils constricted slightly. She recognized this as the second spirit ability used by that narrow-bladed spirit elder in the spirit arena back then. It was just that Ning Chuan was performing it in a different way, and his speed was only faster, not slower. Bang! The turtle shell exploded with a roar. Yi Zhiqiu didn't even have a chance to use his remaining 2 spirit abilities before being taken down in one wave. Teacher. Supported by a few students from Kanghui Academy, Yi Zhiqiu stood up and looked down at the bloodstains on his chest, which were caused by Ning Chuan's first spirit ability. Although his back was his strongest defensive area, it was hard to imagine that the opponent had broken through it with just his first spirit ability. What frightened him even more was that the opponent had broken through his turtle shell from the back without relying on a spirit ability. If all those attacks had landed on the bloodstains on his chest, wouldn't he have been dismembered? Thinking of this, Yi Zhiqiu felt a chill run down his spine and asked, "You, who exactly are you people?" It was one thing for them all to look 12 or 13 years old, and all possess spirit power above rank 25. This leader, Han Lai, was actually a spirit elder, and he even had 2,000-year spirit rings. When did such powerful geniuses emerge on Douluo Continent? Of course, he had been constantly on the receiving end of attacks, and hadn't noticed Ning Rongrong's 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda. The 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda had already been put away after Ning Rongrong finished applying her support to Ning Chuan, giving him a temporary enhancement effect. This was what Ning Chuan had instructed. Otherwise, he would have probably connected it to the 7-treasure glazed tile school and been even more astonished. Zheng, a sword hum sounded, and Ning Chuan executed a beautiful sword flourish, gripping the sword in a reverse grip and resting it behind his back. Didn't I tell you? Tianan Academy's chief student, Han Lai. He is Chang Gong Miao, he is Wu Yifan, she is Liu Tangxian, she is Liu Xiaoshi, she is Yang Mai. He is Jian Aliang. You are welcome to come to Lost City in the Kingdom of Macedon to seek revenge at any time. Ning Chuan successively gave Tang San, Ma Hongjun, Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong, Xiao Wu, and Oscar pseudonym. As for the Kingdom of Macedon, that place was still over 1,000 li away from Soto City. All right, Han Lai, and also Chang Gong Miao, Wu Yifan, Liu Tangxian, Liu Xiaoshi, Yang Mai, Jian Aliang, Kanghui Academy will remember this matter today. Let's go. After uttering a harsh threat, Yi Zhiqiu and a few students from Kanghui Academy scurried away. Before leaving, the girl who had been teased by Ma Hongjun specifically glanced at Ning Chuan. But Xiao Wu glared fiercely back at her. Even Zhu Zhuqing, who was beside them, frowned, but then relaxed when she saw that Ning Chuan had no reaction. Ning Rongrong teased. Ning Chuan, it looks like that little girl is most likely smitten with you. Well, a 12-year-old spirit elder who also has 2,000-year spirit rings, not to mention her, even I'm a little tempted. Then I'm truly honored. Let's go, Miss Ning, it's time for us to head back. Both Ning Chuan and the others could tell that Ning Rongrong was joking, and even Xiao Wu didn't take it seriously. Only Oscar was an exception. He secretly fumed. This guy, he already has Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu. Why is he still trying to snatch Rongrong from me? Of course, he only thought about it in his heart. In reality, with no one to help him, he was very timid right now. Oscar, why are you still standing here? Boss Ning and the others have already gone ahead. Ma Hongjun's voice came from behind him. Oh, coming. Oscar forced a smile and quickly followed. Xiao Wu asked the question that puzzled everyone. Little Six, we are clearly from Shrek. Why did you make up a non-existent Tianan Academy and use fake names? Ning Chuan glanced sideways at Zhao Wuji, who was secretly observing from the shadows, and said lightly, "That's because Kanghui Academy has a spirit saint named Shinayan. This person loves to enhance his own students' strength by hunting down geniuses from other academies. If you want to be targeted, then go ahead and report your real name." Hearing this, everyone felt a lingering fear, and even Ning Rongrong frowned, as being targeted by a spirit saint was certainly not a good thing. Ma Hongjun said thankfully. Boss Ning, luckily we have you, otherwise little Ao and I would have been miserable. In the past, Ma Hongjun called Dai Mubai Boss Dai not because he was older, but because he was stronger. Now that Shrek had Ning Chuan, who was stronger than Dai Mubai in all aspects, he had unconsciously started calling Ning Chuan boss. Ning Chuan said, "So don't cause trouble easily in the future. Otherwise, if you kick an iron plate one day, it will be too late to regret." Of course, I'm not telling you to be afraid of trouble. If someone provokes you, then fight back directly, just like just now. If you can't win, then run. Okay, Boss Ning. Ma Hongjun called him boss repeatedly. Oscar couldn't listen anymore. I say, Fatty, Ning Chuan is several months younger than you. Doesn't calling him boss feel awkward? What's awkward about it? The dean said that Shrek isn't about seniority. If you can be as amazing as Boss Ning, I'll call you boss too. Ma Hongjun had a nonchalant, unbothered attitude. Oscar was helpless and could only look at Tang San, who was in the same predicament as him. The girls they and Dai Mubai liked had all gravitated towards Ning Chuan. Tang San was not as distant as Oscar and nodded gently. At the same time, he felt an increasing sense of urgency, because he found that Ning Chuan's strength was growing stronger and stronger. At this rate, he would soon be left behind. Thinking of this, Tang San couldn't help but think of that hammer. Should I add a spirit ring to that hammer? At this moment, Tang San for the first time had the idea of cultivating his second spirit ahead of schedule. Chapter 46. Star Forest. The night passed without a word. Early the next morning, just as dawn was breaking, everyone set off. As one of the 3 major wild spirit beast habitats on the Douluo Continent, the Star Du Great Forest spans across the Star Luo and Heaven Du empires, containing numerous spirit beasts. From afar, everyone felt a refreshing coolness waft over them. It gave them an indescribably comfortable feeling all over their bodies. Ning Chuan and Zhao Wuji were not visiting the Star Du Great Forest for the first time, so it was nothing new to them. Xiao Wu, having lived in the Star Du Great Forest for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years, felt like she was simply returning home. The others, however, were different. Including Tang San, each of them looked like Granny Liu entering the Grand View Garden, their faces filled with undisguised solemnity and shock. Upon reaching the outskirts of the Star Du Great Forest, everyone slowed down, changing from rapid travel to a normal walking pace. At the same time, Oscar had prepared a large quantity of recovery sausages and detoxification sausages to distribute to everyone. Ning Chuan released his azure bamboo bee cloud sword and led the way. After about an hour of travel with no discoveries, everyone rested in place under Zhao Wuji's command. Another half an hour passed, and Ning Chuan, Zhao Wuji, and Tang San simultaneously looked in one direction. Something is approaching. Everyone be on alert. At Zhao Wuji's command, Ning Chuan immediately protected Ning Rongrong and Oscar, the 2 support system spirit masters. Tang San, Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun also prepared their defenses. Has it finally arrived? A phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Ning Chuan clicked his tongue in his heart. Tang San could sense the movement because he had cultivated the purple demon eye. Zhao Wuji could sense the movement because he was a spirit saint with powerful mental force. As for Ning Chuan, it was because of his second spirit, the devouring gold bugs. When using the devouring gold bugs, it not only consumed his spirit power, but also his mental force. With Tang Hao as his power bank, Ning Chuan could practice controlling the swarm of bugs for extended periods. Through this consumption and replenishment, his mental force was much stronger than that of spirit masters of the same level. However, he would not let Oscar get this phoenix-tailed crested serpent. He only needed to give him an ordinary 1,000-year spirit ring. Tang San, Zhuqing, Xiao Wu, Fatty, you all protect Rongrong and Little Ao. I'll go see what's happening. Thinking this, Ning Chuan channeled his spirit power to his feet and directly sprang up, quickly climbing a nearby large tree as if walking on flat ground. He soon saw the phoenix-tailed crested serpent. It had light red wings and was about 7 meters long. It's a phoenix-tailed crested serpent, about 1,500 years old. It's coming towards us now. It seems something is chasing it, Ning Chuan told the people below the tree. Haha, Little Ao, you're in luck this time. Zhao Wuji didn't care what was chasing it. Anyway, this was the outskirts of the Star Du Great Forest, so no powerful 10,000-year spirit beasts could appear. That's right. The fleshy crest on the phoenix-tailed crested serpent's head has many wonderful uses. If Oscar can obtain it, there's a high chance he'll gain a speed-type spirit ability or even a flying spirit ability. Most importantly, this thing is non-venomous. It only sprays pink mist to confuse enemies, so capturing it carries little risk. Ning Chuan didn't want to give Tang San any chance to show off. Ma Hongjun exclaimed, "Boss Ning, You're truly a master of theory. You can even tell a spirit beast's age at a glance. The others looked at Ning Chuan with some astonishment, while only Tang San and Oscar looked depressed. The former was constantly preempted by Ning Chuan, and the more excellent Ning Chuan was, the more slim Oscar's hopes of pursuing Ning Rongrong became. Yet, as the beneficiary of this spirit hunt, he couldn't say anything, as he needed everyone's help to hunt for his spirit ring. He was utterly depressed. Ning Chuan said with a straight face, in a humble bragging way, "I just read a few more books, that's all." As he spoke, the phoenix-tailed crested serpent had already flown over. Without any tactics and needing none, Ning Chuan simply swooped down from the air, and 3 spirit rings, 1 yellow and 2 purple, suddenly flashed. His 3rd spirit ring lit up, and Ning Chuan, holding his azure bamboo bee-cloud sword, split into 3, transforming into 3 azure transparent figures that stabbed towards the phoenix-tailed crested serpent. The phoenix-tailed crested serpent reacted quickly, swerving sharply to avoid the first azure transparent figure. However, it could no longer avoid the 2nd and 3rd. The 2nd directly cut through its wing, breaking its balance, and the 3rd figure, which was Ning Chuan's true body, descended from the sky, holding the azure bamboo bee-cloud sword in a reverse grip, pinning it to the ground, rendering it unable to move. That's it. It wasn't until Ning Chuan had captured the phoenix-tailed crested serpent that everyone reacted, seemingly surprised that the phoenix-tailed crested serpent, known for its speed, was so easily subdued. Is there a problem? The azure light on his body disappeared, and Ning Chuan returned to his original appearance, turning to look at everyone. Of course there's a problem. If it were just an ordinary 1,000-year spirit beast, fine, but this is a phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Even a spirit emperor would find it incredibly difficult to capture it alive, and you. Zhao Wuji looked at Ning Chuan with an expression as if he were looking at a monster. Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun also nodded in deep agreement. Compared to a spirit emperor, Ning Chuan's strength might be much weaker, but he had no shortcomings whatsoever. He had speed, strength, offense, and defense. What was even more deadly was his unpredictable swordsmanship. And those 3 exaggerated spirit rings that granted him top-tier spirit abilities. He truly didn't know how this kid cultivated. As for Tang San, his fists were clenched tightly, his fingernails almost digging into his flesh, because he knew he couldn't do what Ning Chuan did. Especially facing Ning Chuan's 3rd spirit ability, unless he used his 2nd spirit and hidden weapons, he truly had no chance of winning. Xiao Wu, however, stood beside Ning Chuan, showing an expression of reluctance. Do we really have to hunt spirit beasts? Do you see those 2 scars? This indicates that someone was already chasing it before us. Ning Chuan pointed to the phoenix-tailed crested serpent's abdomen, then looked up at the sky. Moreover, this is not decided by us, but by the rules of this world. In this deformed cultivation world, spirit masters need spirit rings to improve their strength, otherwise, they will be stuck at a certain level, unable to advance. Even if we don't kill it, this phoenix-tailed crested serpent will die at the hands of other spirit masters. Then is there really no other way? Xiao Wu's face was a little pale. Unless you have the ability to change the rules of this world, but among those who can reach that realm, how many would think of this? And among those who think of this, how many can maintain their original intention? Ning Chuan's words had a deeper meaning. In the original work, Xiao Wu initially remembered that she was a spirit beast, but soon after, she completely lost her original heart. It was one thing to let things be, but later she even watched Tang Buddha almost wipe out the spirit beast race. Xiao Wu pondered after hearing this. Chapter 47 Splatoon, Ning Chuan felt that enough time had passed. Under the radiation of his mental force, he perceived that Snake Woman and Meng Yuren, who were chasing the phoenix-tailed crested serpent, had already arrived nearby. He said indifferently, "All right, to avoid further complications, Oscar, do it. Ning Chuan is right, little Ao, do it." Zhao Wuji pulled out a short knife from his spirit tool. Oscar excitedly took the short knife and was about to act when a hoarse roar suddenly sounded. "Stop right there." And at the moment the voice sounded, Ning Chuan, while everyone was attracted to them, pulled out a powerful laxative pill, put it in his mouth, and bound Tang San. The other Shrek members activated their spirit and spirit rings. Swish, swish. The next moment, Snake Woman, with a face full of wrinkles, and the charming and lovely Meng Yuren appeared in front of everyone from the direction where the phoenix-tailed crested serpent had darted out earlier. Both of them held snake head staffs. Snake Woman's was 3 meters long, and her spirit ring configuration was 2 yellow, 3 purple, and 1 black. Meng Yuren's was also over 2 meters long, and her spirit rings were 2 yellow. Seeing the 7 spirit rings on Zhao Wuji, the originally arrogant Snake Woman suddenly fell silent. After introducing himself, Zhao Wuji learned that the opponent was Snake Woman from the Peerless Dragon Snake. He then immediately thought that the Peerless Dragon Snake were inseparable, so since Snake Woman was here, the Dragon Duke must be nearby. This was a spirit Douluo expert. He couldn't afford to offend him, so he also lowered his stance. Finally, the two discussed and decided to follow the rules of the Spirit Master world. Shrek would send 1 student to duel Meng Yuren, replacing Oscar, who was a food system Spirit Master. Whoever won would get the Spirit Ring. "Teacher Zhao, I'll do it." Just like in the original work, Tang San volunteered. He looked at Meng Yuren and said, "I'm level 29, so I'm not taking advantage of you." Whether it was the last Shrek entrance exam where he fainted due to increased gravity, or the fight in the Soto City Great Spirit Arena where he suffered losses against a pair of spirit masters with hammer spirits. Although he won, he also got injured. Tang San clearly understood in his heart that he was far inferior to Ning Chuan in Xiao Wu's heart, and even in everyone's hearts. And this time, he was going to prove himself. As he spoke, Tang San walked over to Oscar's side. Oscar was almost moved to tears. All along, he had been ostracized by everyone, and Tang San was the first one willing to stand up for him. He looked at Tang San's face, which was like charcoal, and said gratefully, "Good brother." Tang San smiled. "We're roommates and brothers, aren't we?" At the same time, Meng Yuren also stepped forward. She looked at Tang San, who had thick, short limbs, an extremely uncoordinated body, and resembled a black bear, and said impatiently, "All right, stop talking nonsense, let's do it." Oscar stepped out to cause trouble. "Wait, what is it now?" Meng Yuren frowned. "Oscar, this isn't fair to us. If you win, you get the spirit ring we just captured. What do we get if we win?" Meng Yuren. "Then what do you want?" Oscar smiled mischievously. "If you lose, how about you kiss Tang San? You want me to kiss this lump of charcoal?" Meng Yuren was completely enraged. Although Tang San in the original work wasn't handsome, he wasn't ugly either. Now, Tang San was like an uglified version of Zhao Wuji, and he was even imported from Africa. For her to kiss such an ugly thing, how could this guy even think of it? "Who are you calling a lump of charcoal?" Tang San was also furious. He was most wary of others harming Xiao Wu or calling him black. "What, aren't you black?" Meng Yuren said with her arms crossed. "Although I don't think I'll lose, but if I have to kiss this lump of charcoal, I'd rather die." Ning Rongrong, however, enjoyed the show and didn't mind adding fuel to the fire. Exactly, and Oscar. This phoenix-tailed crested serpent was clearly caught by Ning Chuan. What does it have to do with you? If anyone's getting a kiss, it should be Ning Chuan. After speaking, Ning Rongrong didn't forget to wink at Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan didn't care because he had taken a powerful laxative and transferred the side effects to Tang San. Soon, the medicine would take effect, and Tang San would become a spraying warrior, destined to lose. Meng Yuren followed Ning Rongrong's gaze and saw Ning Chuan, who had a fair complexion and an almost perfect physique. She was slightly stunned and thought to herself that this guy looked pretty good, much better than that black-headed guy. Then, with the thought that she wouldn't lose, she said seriously, "All right, if I lose, I'll kiss him." Upon hearing this, Tang San was once again enraged. What did she mean by she'd rather die than kiss him, but if she lost, she could kiss Ning Chuan? Although he didn't care for Meng Yuren's kiss, this didn't mean that the other party could insult him. Let's talk, let's do it. Tang San, Spirit Blue Silver Grass, Level 29, Two-Ring Soul Grandmaster. Meng Yuren was stunned. Isn't your spirit a black bear? Under normal circumstances, a spirit master's appearance is related to their spirit. For example, Zhao Wuji, his spirit is the vigorous Vajra bear, so his physique is as strong as a bear. And Tang San's appearance was undoubtedly very similar to a black bear, so she subconsciously thought Tang San's spirit was a black bear. Upon hearing this, including Zhao Wuji, everyone from Shrek twitched their mouths, trying hard not to smile because at first they had thought the same thing. But Tang San was completely enraged, his face as dark as water. Meng Yuren, Spirit Snakehead Staff, Level 30, Two-Ring Soul Grandmaster. Seeing Tang San not respond, Meng Yuren said no more. After announcing her spirit and spirit power level, she darted in front of Tang San, her 2-meter-long snakehead staff directly smashing towards Tang San's pitch-black head. Stepping on Ghost Shadow perplexing track, Tang San flew backward, dodging the snakehead staff. At the same time, his first spirit ring lit up. Blue vines with thorns instantly wrapped Meng Yuren and her snakehead staff, who wanted to pursue Tang San, tightly. Just as Tang San was about to activate his second spirit ability, Parasite, to defeat Meng Yuren in one go, the powerful laxative pill Ning Chuan had taken earlier took effect. Tang San felt a sharp pain in his abdomen, thought it was a fart, and released it without thinking. Poof. You. Including Snake Woman opposite, all the spectators subconsciously took several steps back. They were all disgusted by Tang San's smell. Good heavens, fighting halfway and then pooping in your pants, this guy is truly a talent. Meng Yuren also showed a look of disgust, but her combat instincts were good. She did not retreat because of the stench from Tang San. Her 2 spirit rings lit up simultaneously. Her first spirit ability, Snake Blade, and second spirit ability, Snake Body, were activated. The tongue at the tip of the snakehead staff spat out a 2-foot-long, bluish, highly poisonous snake blade. Immediately after, Meng Yuren, relying on her snake body, moved like a swimming snake, escaping the blue-silver grass's embrace, and the snake blade unleashed a powerful offensive. What exactly is going on with Tang San? Why would he suddenly have diarrhea at this time? Oscar instantly became anxious, knowing that this concerned his spirit ring. Chapter 48, Oscar's soul ring, is gone. The others all looked disgusted. After all, for an adult to soil his pants was simply unheard of. Zhu Zhuqing even spat out 2 words. Disgusting? Xiao Wu, who was usually carefree, also nodded in deep agreement because Little Black was too shameful. It was bad enough that he was ugly, but he also soiled his pants. No one could accept that, seeing the snake blade so close and his blue-silver grass unable to function. And most critically, still suffering from diarrhea, Tang San knew that today, in front of Xiao Wu, he had completely lost face, and his expression was unprecedentedly grim. Just as the snake blade was about to strike Tang San used Ghost Shadow perplexing track in conjunction with controlling crane catching dragon, narrowly avoiding Meng Yuren's snake blade. However, the spraying from his rear became even more severe. PFFT, PFFT. For a time, within dozens of meters, a foul stench filled the air, and the filth broke through the confines of Tang San's pants, splashing out golden liquid, which then slid down his trouser legs. Meng Yuren endured the stench and continued her attack. Zhao Wuji could no longer stand it and said, "All right, stop." Hearing this, Meng Yuren couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief, ceased her attack, and immediately returned to Snake Woman's side, crouching behind a tree, finally unable to hold it in and throwing up. Ugh, I've never seen such a disgusting guy. Meng Yuren retched and complained at the same time. Snake Woman gently stroked her granddaughter's back, her wrinkled old face showing a hint of a smile. Although making her granddaughter fight, such a disgusting, feckle person caused her great distress. However, the phoenix-tailed crested serpent was finally saved. One must know that her old man, Dragon Duke, was not by her side, having gone to chase another spirit beast. Thinking of this, Snake Woman looked at Zhao Wuji and said, "Brother Zhao, since you have conceded, then this phoenix-tailed crested serpent." Zhao Wuji said with a dark face, "A bet is a bet, it's yours." "Teacher Zhao." Oscar was unwilling to miss such a top-tier spirit ring. But Tang San could no longer hold back. While the others were talking, he dashed into the jungle, spraying freely. PFFT, PFFT, PFFT. For a time, the entire jungle echoed with Tang San's diarrhea. Snake Woman acted as if she hadn't heard Tang San's diarrhea, turned her head, and gave Meng Yuren a look. "Yuren, hurry and kill the phoenix-tailed crested serpent." Meng Yuren nodded, enduring the stench left by Tang San, and approached the phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Ning Chuan was also there. His spirit, the azure bamboo bee-cloud sword, was still impaled in the phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Although Ning Chuan had achieved his goal, he did not directly give the phoenix-tailed crested serpent to Meng Yuren, but instead looked at Zhao Wuji. "Teacher Zhao." Oscar again cast a pleading gaze. "Give it to her." Zhao Wuji glanced in the direction of Tang San's diarrhea, and as he told Ning Chuan to give the phoenix-tailed crested serpent to Meng Yuren, his heart grew even more disappointed in Tang San. How could the son of Clear Sky Douluo be so useless? He actually soiled his pants at a crucial moment, completely disgracing his father, Clear Sky Douluo, today, and he also lost such a good spirit ring. "Please, go ahead." Hearing Zhao Wuji's words, Ning Chuan no longer hesitated, pulled out both the serpent and the sword, and tossed the phoenix-tailed crested serpent in front of Meng Yuren. "Is this his spirit?" Meng Yuren glanced at the azure bamboo bee-cloud sword, then nodded to Ning Chuan, and swung her serpent staff, plunging the snake blade into the eyes of the already dying phoenix-tailed crested serpent. The phoenix-tailed crested serpent struggled for a moment, then died, and a purple spirit ring appeared. Snake Woman breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. This way, even if Zhao Wuji wanted to go back on his word, he wouldn't have the chance. However, she still didn't relax, walking to Meng Yuren's side to protect her, while vigilantly watching Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji also watched her vigilantly. The silent standoff caused both of their nerves to be extremely tense. Half an hour later, Meng Yuren finished absorbing her spirit ring. Her delicate, pretty face was filled with excitement and joy, and she smiled at Snake Woman. "Grandma, I succeeded in absorbing it. I gained an extremely powerful spirit ability. Third spirit ability, Serpent Wings." As if to show off to the Shrek group, Meng Yuren actively displayed her third spirit ability. Her third spirit ring lit up, and a pair of energy wings, similar to those of a phoenix-tailed crested serpent, unfurled from her back. She flapped her wings, and her entire body ascended into the sky, flying rapidly at a speed no less than that of the phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Ning Chuan didn't know if the other Shrek members were angered by Meng Yuren's spirit ability, but Oscar was definitely furious. Because Ning Chuan was right, this phoenix-tailed crested serpent could indeed grant a flying spirit ability. If he had obtained this skill, his position in Shrek Academy would definitely improve significantly. It might even be possible to change Ning Rongrong's opinion of him. Unfortunately, all of this was ruined by the woman named Meng Yuren. And Tang San was also a disappointment. He completely disregarded everyone's trust, actually soiling his pants in the middle of a fight, completely disgracing their Shrek Academy. It was only because he was a food system spirit master. Otherwise, he would have definitely felt like killing someone. Haha, good. Seeing her granddaughter gain a flying spirit ability, Snake Woman could no longer hide the smile on her face. After Meng Yuren landed beside her, Snake Woman said, "Brother Zhao, we shall meet again. We bid you farewell." With that, the two swept away in the direction they had come from, leaving behind only Zhao Wuji and Oscar, whose faces were extremely dark. As for Ning Rongrong, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing, they all followed Ning Chuan's example, sitting cross-legged under the trees, meditating to improve their spirit power. They did not waste this hour-plus of time. Ma Hongjun also followed suit. At this moment, Tang San finally emerged from the dense forest. He was now wearing a fresh set of clothes, his hair was wet, and there were still water stains on his body and face, looking as if he had just taken a bath. The five of them, Ning Chuan, opened their eyes and saw Tang San, with a grim expression, say to Zhao Wuji, "Teacher Zhao, since you're done, sit down and recover properly. Little Ao, quickly give him 2 sausages. We still need to continue searching for a spirit ring later." Zhao Wuji acted as if he hadn't seen Tang San, urging Oscar to give Tang San sausages so he could recover. Oscar said nothing, simply silently handed over the 2 sausages he had prepared and sat cross-legged in place to begin recovering. About half an hour passed, and Tang San opened his eyes. The dejected look on his face had disappeared, replaced by excitement. "Teacher Zhao, I've also broken through to Spirit Elder." "Since you're awake then, what, you're also a Spirit Elder?" Zhao Wuji's anger turned to joy. Tang San didn't answer, but directly summoned his spirit and spirit ring. Immediately, the spirit power fluctuation unique to a Spirit Elder was released. "Haha, good, this can be considered a blessing in disguise. With this, our Shrek Academy will suddenly have 4 Spirit Elders. However, this time, you lost the match and also caused Little Ao to lose a top-tier spirit ring. Next time, ugh, you can't do that again. If your stomach really isn't feeling well, remember to say so beforehand. You absolutely mustn't force it." Recalling the scene of Tang San spraying earlier, Zhao Wuji felt a wave of nausea. Chapter 49. Hero saves beauty again. Tang San was also quite annoyed, but he hadn't eaten anything strange and he didn't know why, but he just had diarrhea. At first he thought it was just gas, but then, damn it, he directly had a big one. Ning Chuan chuckled inwardly. Now that Meng Yuren has her 3rd spirit ring, as long as we find Dragon Duke, he will definitely give up chasing that man-faced demon spider that is over 2,000 years old, and Tang San's 8 spider lances will be gone. Giving Meng Yuren a spirit ring was an impromptu decision by Ning Chuan. It was Oscar's fault for being so clueless and still choosing to be close to Tang San. Since he chose the Tang San faction, he was an enemy. As for the 8 spider lances, it was a pity not to get them, but that thing only appeared after Tang San killed the devil spider and absorbed its spirit ring in the original work. Killing it directly might not necessarily produce a spirit bone. Rather than that, it was safer and more appropriate to just have Tang San lose the 8 spider lances directly. This way, without the 8 spider lances, Tang San would inevitably be unable to fight above his level in the early stages. And after repeated setbacks, it would be natural for him to switch to cultivating the clear sky hammer earlier. However, to prevent any accidents, after Xiao Wu is captured by the Titan giant ape, he still needs to chase after them. There's no room for luck mentality. Oscar lost his 3rd spirit ring. Although Tang San broke through the 30th level bottleneck, because he turned into a spray warrior and also lost the phoenix-tailed crested serpent captured by Ning Chuan, he was disliked by the Shrek group. Even Xiao Wu didn't want to be near him, complaining that he smelled bad. Unconsciously, the relationships among the Shrek group gradually drifted apart amidst these setbacks. Zhao Wuji didn't notice any of this. Thinking that, although the spirit ring had been given to Meng Yuren, it had still offended Snake Woman, and worried that Dragon Duke would return for revenge, he led everyone away from their current location. They walked for more than 10 li in one direction before setting up camp. The night passed without incident. The next morning, everyone began searching for spirit rings for Tang San and Oscar. Before long, they found a suitable spirit beast for Oscar, a 1,000-year chicken-crested serpent. It was a lower-tier spirit beast compared to the phoenix-tailed crested serpent, and also provided Oscar with a speed-type spirit ability. It could grant the user the speed of a 1,000-year chicken-crested serpent for 1 minute, at most comparable to the speed of an agility attack system spirit ancestor, which was far inferior to the flight ability of the original phoenix-tailed crested serpent. Not only could it not fly, but its speed was also much slower. It could be said that in the mid to late stages, or even after the Soul Master competition, this skill would be mostly useless. Only Oscar himself hadn't realized it yet. He was still gloating. Tang San, on the other hand, because Yu Zaya Agang had planned for him to find a spider-type spirit beast for his third spirit ring, hadn't encountered a suitable spirit beast. After a full day, there was no harvest. Therefore, Zhao Wuji decided to follow the plan and lead everyone deeper tomorrow to find a suitable spirit ring for Tang San. Night fell, and it was time to rest again. Tonight, it was Tang San's turn to stand guard. Zhao Wuji and Ning Chuan had already stood guard the previous 2 nights. However, Ning Chuan didn't sleep because he knew that tonight was destined to be anything but peaceful. So, he got up and walked out of the tent, just in time to see Zhao Wuji chatting with Tang San, who was on guard duty. From what he heard, they were mostly talking about the indiscriminate hunting and killing of spirit beasts by spirit masters. Ning Chuan found it laughable. Zhao Wuji was one thing, but did Tang Buder really have the right to talk about indiscriminate hunting and killing? Teacher Zhao, audiobooks. Douluo fanfic. Seeing them look over, Ning Chuan greeted Zhao Wuji. What, not going to sleep this late? Zhao Wuji asked. Just going to relieve myself. Then don't go too far from the camp. Go quickly and come back quickly. Ning Chuan casually made up an excuse, and Zhao Wuji didn't take it to heart. After all, spirit masters are also human and have their basic needs. Not long after Ning Chuan left the camp, a massive sound silently approached the camp. Ning Chuan calculated the time and rushed back. When he arrived, he saw Zhao Wuji, who had already activated his spirit avatar, flying over like a cannonball. Immediately after, the Titan giant ape let out an earth-shattering roar. Ning Chuan vaguely saw a layer of black energy surging from the Titan giant ape's body by the moonlight. Then Zhu Zhuqing, Zaya Wu, Ning Rongrong, Ma Hongjun, Oscar, and Tang San were all thrown into the air by this black energy. Ning Chuan ignored Zhao Wuji. With a slide tackle, he dodged the black energy. At the same time, his yellow, purple, and purple spirit rings flashed out, and his third spirit ring lit up. His body split into 3. His main body caught Zhu Zhuqing, while the other 2 clones caught Ning Rongrong and Zaya Wu. This caused Oscar, who had originally intended to embrace Ning Rongrong, to miss. After all, dying under a peony is a romantic death. Embracing the little princess of the 7-treasure glazed tile school and going to hell together wouldn't be a loss. If he could survive, it would be a heroic rescue. A huge profit, unfortunately. Everything became a delusion. By the time he acted, Ning Rongrong had already been embraced by Ning Chuan's clone and moved away from the Titan giant ape, while he himself fell directly onto the Titan giant ape's lower abdomen, landing face first. P.S. Clones have no self-awareness. They are merely manifestations of spirit power, controlled by the main body, so there is no self-inflicted harm. It was only because the Titan giant ape had no ill intentions, otherwise he would have been utterly annihilated. At this moment, Zaya Wu's voice rang out in the sky. No. Because the clone Ning Chuan sent to catch Zaya Wu was swatted away by the Titan giant ape, Zaya Wu didn't know if it was a clone. After swatting away Ning Chuan's clone, the Titan giant ape grabbed Zaya Wu. No, let go of Zaya Wu. Seeing this scene, Tang San, who had barely managed to stabilize himself, was almost insane. He didn't care about hiding his so-called hidden weapons and frantically threw them at the Titan giant ape's most vulnerable eyes. But the Titan giant ape merely closed its eyes, and all the hidden weapons were blocked by its eyelids. Tang San still wanted to throw hidden weapons, but the Titan giant ape let out another roar, and another wave of black energy blew Tang San, who was fully unleashing his hidden weapons, and his hidden weapons far away, crashing heavily into a large tree. Ning Chuan was also affected, but fortunately, At the same time, the clone that was catching Xiao Wu was swatted away by the Titan giant ape. He controlled the other clone to bring Ning Rongrong to his main body and Zhu Zhuking. His second spirit ring lit up, and with the buffer of the sword shield, the three of them didn't suffer much damage. Even Ma Hongjun, who was closest to him, also escaped harm, who told that kid to call him boss as for Oscar, who cared about him. What exactly is going on? How did the Titan giant ape appear here? Ning Chuan asked knowingly. Because his sword shield had just been shattered, he suffered a backlash and partial impact from the black energy, and a trace of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth. However, this injury was quickly transferred to Tang San. Tang San, who had been blown into the tree, suffered injury upon injury and fell to the ground, spitting out a large mouthful of blood. We don't know either. Out of nowhere, this monster suddenly appeared. Ning Rongrong was still shaken. In that instant, she felt like she was really going to die, but fortunately, Ning Chuan appeared in time. Thinking of this, a strange emotion couldn't help but appear in her eyes as she looked at Ning Chuan. Chapter 50, the whole show Ma Hongjun was similarly terrified. Boss Ning, from now on, you are my true boss, my only boss. The coldness on Zhu Zhuking's face had disappeared, replaced by heartache and worry. Her eyes moist, she looked at Ning Chuan. How are you feeling? Just as the sword shield was shattered by the black energy wave, Ning Chuan chose to shield her with his body. This touched her once again after the Shrek entrance exam. It's fine. I won't die just yet. Ning Chuan feigned extreme weakness, but his gaze was fixed on Xiao Wu, who was held by the Titan giant ape. He urged in his heart, hurry and leave, hurry and leave. If you don't leave soon, I won't be able to keep up this act. The Titan giant ape still wanted to attack, but Xiao Wu looked at Ning Chuan, whose mouth was bleeding. While feeling heartache, she thought he was worried about her and exclaimed, "No." The Titan giant ape's movements came to an abrupt halt. It lowered its head to look at Xiao Wu in its hand, let out a low roar, and turned to rush towards the core area of the Stardew Great Forest. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared into the jungle. Xiao Wu. Tang San cried out, wanting to give chase, but found that his injuries were too severe to do so. Zhao Wuji also wanted to give chase, but his speed was too far behind that of the Titan giant ape. He simply couldn't catch up. Ning Chuan, however, breathed a sigh of relief, but he still had to keep up appearances. Thinking that Meng Yuren had spent a lot of time absorbing her spirit ring. Perhaps she hadn't found Dragon Duke, or perhaps Snake Woman was worried that the Stardew Great Forest was too dangerous and had sent Meng Yuren out early. Dragon Duke, unaware that his granddaughter had already obtained a spirit ring, was still pursuing the man-faced demon spider. He looked at Ning Rongrong and said, "Rongrong, give me some support." Ah. Ning Rongrong didn't react for a moment, but seeing Ning Chuan's expression, she seemed to understand something and summoned her 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda spirit. 7 treasures turn out with glazed tile. Second, speed. As Ning Rongrong's clear voice rang out, a brilliant, colorful light fell upon Ning Chuan. Ning Chuan only felt his body lighten. He lightly tapped his toes on the ground and soared onto a large tree branch. "Wait, Ning Chuan, what are you doing?" Zhao Wuji didn't want to see Ning Chuan do anything foolish and shouted anxiously. "Apologies, Teacher Zhao. Xiao Wu is my classmate. If it were any of you who were captured, I would also give chase. Even if it's Xiao Wu's corpse, I cannot let her body be exposed in the wilderness." Leaving behind a beautiful statement, Ning Chuan swiftly moved in the direction the Titan giant ape had left. "Ning Chuan, I've transferred all my spirit power to you. The amplification effect can last for 1 minute after leaving my support range. Go quickly, I fully support you." Ning Rongrong shouted towards the direction Ning Chuan had left. You all." Zhao Wuji looked at the departing Ning Chuan and Ning Rongrong, who was cheering him on, and was so angry he could barely speak. Ning Rongrong's face was a bit pale from excessive spirit power consumption, but a smile appeared on her delicate little face. "Teacher Zhao, you just heard it. Ning Chuan said that if it were any of us, he would rush to save us without hesitation. Oscar, however, scoffed. What do you mean he would save anyone? Why didn't he save him? A moment later, Tang San, who had stabilized his injuries, walked up to Oscar. Little Ao, quickly give me a mushroom sausage. Mushroom sausage was Oscar's third spirit ability, with the same name as in the original work. It allowed the user to gain the speed of a chicken-crested serpent for 1 minute, roughly equivalent to an ordinary agility attack system's spirit ancestor. At this moment, Tang San felt such hatred, truly such hatred. He was too weak. If he could have been even a little stronger, he wouldn't have suffered such severe injuries. And thus, when Xiao Wu was abducted by the Titan giant ape, he couldn't even give chase. In the end, it was Ning Chuan who went to chase Xiao Wu. He was truly fed up with his powerlessness. Although the Douluo Great Forest had a large number and variety of spirit beasts, those who sensed the aura of the Titan giant ape all retreated 3 paces. This was also the reason why Tang San, in the original work, did not encounter any other spirit beasts when he ventured deep into the Douluo Great Forest, other than the man-faced demon spider he stumbled upon by chance. It was also the courage that allowed Ning Chuan to go alone. However, to be safe, after leaving the Shrek group by about 7 or 8 li, Ning Chuan's speed slowed down. This distance should be about right. Ning Chuan slowly raised his left hand, and a silver sphere about a foot in size appeared in his palm. As soon as it appeared, it immediately transformed into dozens or hundreds of rays of light that shot out. Then, they turned into specks of silver light and spread in all directions. This was Ning Chuan's second spirit, devouring gold bugs. They were most sensitive to spirit power fluctuations. They were perfect for searching for that man-faced demon spider. At the same time, a green light surged in Ning Chuan's right hand, but he did not summon the Azure Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword Spirit. Ding detected that the host cannot use 2 spirits simultaneously. Please bind a recipient. Bind Tang San. After transferring the side effect of not being able to use 2 spirits simultaneously to Tang San, Ning Chuan released the Azure Bamboo Bee Cloud Sword and its 3 spirit rings, yellow, purple, and purple, without any further hindrance. The second spirit ring lit up, and Ning Chuan set up a sword shield for himself before continuing forward. After traveling a few more li, the devouring gold bugs 1,000 meters to the southwest reacted, and the target was fleeing rapidly. Without the slightest hesitation, Ning Chuan moved in the direction of the target, intending to intercept it on its inevitable path. A moment later, Ning Chuan saw the target. This was a strange, large spider with a black, shiny carapace all over its body. Its main body was over 1.5 meters, and it had 8 spider legs, each more than 3 meters long. The front sections of its long legs were slender, silently piercing the ground with every step, making them extremely sharp. At the same time, there was a human face formed by white patterns on its abdomen. The human face had 8 eyes, 2 of which were smashed. It was indeed the man-faced demon spider. At the same time, through the feedback from the devouring gold bugs, Ning Chuan also sensed that Tang San, hundreds of meters away, was moving rapidly at a speed no less than that of an agility attack system's spirit ancestor. It seemed he had consumed Oscar's mushroom sausage. After the effect wore off, he stopped to rest under a large tree. This can work. Ning Chuan was speechless. If this man-faced demon spider continued in its current direction, it would definitely run into Tang San. And Dragon Duke, as expected, still didn't know that his granddaughter had already obtained a spirit ring. After all, the Douluo Great Forest was so vast, and the man-faced demon spider was scurrying around aimlessly. Snake Woman couldn't possibly continue to risk Meng Yuren, so she most likely sent Meng Yuren out first, and then returned to find Dragon Duke. Thinking of this, Ning Chuan no longer hesitated. He recalled the devouring gold bugs, which reformed into a silver sphere and shot towards the man-faced demon spider. The man-faced demon spider also discovered Ning Chuan. Seeing the silver sphere, it seemed to disdain it. Its 8 legs moved rapidly, rushing towards Ning Chuan from the front, leaving a trail of afterimages. Bang! The silver sphere touched the man-faced demon spider's black shell and immediately turned into specks of silver starlight, as if it had been shattered.